the first time ever, the Truck Series back in Nashville for a second gig. Not one, but two races here this year. It's an encore performance, and our Nashville stars are about to hit their favorite stage. Nothing predictable about this season. First it was Double-A, then RC's grandson, and last week a rejuvenated Sadler, each scoring his first Truck Series win. Tonight it's all about the guitar. We don't know what will happen, but we do know this: we will not have a repeat winner this year. Located about 30 miles east of Music City, the Nashville Superspeedway is a little bit country and a whole lot of rock and roll. And tonight the show belongs to the Camping World Truck Series. We kick things off with the setup presented by Polaris. Hello everyone, I'm Krista Voda. Welcome back to Nashville. The last time we were here, well, the Bachelorette hadn't yet chosen her man, and A-Rod only had 583 home runs. It was Easter weekend. Kyle Busch won that race. Well, Kyle Busch is not here tonight. In fact, Kyle and the rest of the Cup regulars are up in Watkins Glen watching this race just like you are at home, and that means knock, knock, that's opportunity sounding off. That wasn't exactly the case last week when the Sunday specials came to play in Pocono.
A track never visited and a qualifying procedure never tried. The Tricky Triangle welcomed the Camping World Truck Series for race number 13.
Rapid fire qualifying, a new procedure that we've never done in the trucks before.
The way these guys qualified, multiple trucks on the track for the very first time.
Elliott Sadler, is he going to take the pole away from Casey Kane? Yes, yeah, look at Elliott Sadler.
Still the pole, baby. You're the 8. Great job. All right!
Casey's not quite as happy as Elliott.
With excitement mounting, 36 truckers pulled their belts tight and prepare for a 50-lap shootout.
The air of anticipation is very high.
Boogity, boogity, boogity! Let's make some history, boys!
They're ready. Green, green, green. Rolling, rolling.
Whoa.
Jason White gets sideways.
Jason White is around. Everybody now will swing to the high side of the racetrack.
Elliott Sadler started on the pole this afternoon. He has led every step of the way.
As the laps wind down, so does patience.
Casey Kane in the 18 is loving this.
Casey Kane all the way to the bottom of the racetrack.
They are side by side and wheel to wheel. Now they break ranks.
Now he gets into the 30. The 30 is sideways.
Bodine is sliding off of turn 2. Gets into the grassy area off the corner.
I don't think we have any flats. Check out the valence, though.
An angry Todd Bodine, back of the pack. That's going to be fun to watch.
Denny Hamlin collects the wall in turn number 1 after contact with Austin Dillon, and the scramble is on behind them.
Look at them, 4 and 5 wide now.
Swivel off of turn number 3. A couple of trucks get together.
That's the 21 of Donnie Leah.
Yellow.
Huge dodge that was for Todd Bodine, our point leader.
Don't count old Todd out.
Here they come. Green flag back out for our green-white-checkered from
Man,
Pocono.
that's a drag race.
Trouble off of turn 3. It's Ron Hornaday. Slight contact made with the rear bumper. He is in a spin.
All behind you. Got it. You're in it.
Nobody hits him as he slides into the grass.
Oh, that truck's done.
So this could be a 28th place finish for Ron Hornaday today.
And everyone stands here at Pocono Raceway to see this exciting finish to the Pocono Mountains 125.
Ready. Clearing.
President Sadler wheel to wheel now onto the long pot straightaway.
Clear by 5.
Elliott Sadler is going to win the first race at Pocono for the trucks.
Pole sitter, race winner. You won every major series, dude. You the man.
This is a big win for Kevin Harvick Incorporated, and especially Elliott Sadler.
Woo, that feels good. You deserved it, buddy. That was a great run, man.
Sadler, of course, followed up that Saturday win with one of the hardest hits on Sunday. Everyone, though, chasing Todd Bodine in the points. He leads the standings. Crafton, Skinner, Starr, and White all still looking for their first win of the year. Ray Dunlap kicks off our interviews tonight by talking to a guy who just might be our next first-time winner.
Krista, I'd certainly put him on that list of prospective winners. And Brian Eichler, you have the boss's truck that he won with in the spring. I assume that that gives you a little extra pressure tonight.
Yeah, definitely. You know, we've got a fast Toyota Tundra here today. We've had fast trucks in the past. We just haven't quite been able to put it together, and hoping to do it tonight here in Nashville.
All right, what's the secret to getting it to victory lane?
Man, I've really been struggling getting down in the corner and getting back to the gas hard, making the straightaways really long here. So just keeping our nose clean, staying away from the people we can't race against tonight, and hopefully we're there on lap 150.
All right, Truck 18 rolls off 11th today. Adam?
No doubt Justin Lofton has been on a roll of late. Second top 5 of the year last week at Pocono. Good qualifying effort today. So what is the confidence level of you and the team?
It's through the roof right now. I mean, ever since Iowa was really when we set it off, and we just kept rolling in. We had a lot of mechanical issues, about 3 weeks worth that slowed us up. But, you know, after Pocono, we're just kind of sitting on cloud 9 right now, and it would be really, really cool to come here with a, you know, really, really strong finish. You know, a win's definitely not out of the sights for us, and, you know, just really proud of all the guys for keeping their heads held high. I told them it'd pay off, and it is right now.
Lofton starting 9th tonight here in Music City.
All right, thanks, Adam. You know, it's been a really interesting year for Kevin Harvick Incorporated. On one hand, the boss wins nearly every time he's in the truck. And then on the other hand, the defending champ, Ron Hornaday, well, it took him 6 months to even find victory lane. But the month of July has been scorching hot for KHI.
The 2 of Kevin Harvick dominant at Gateway.
This performance, I believe he took him behind the woodshed, but Harvick is a winner today.
Ron Hornaday heads back to victory lane at ORP.
And he breaks a 22-race winless streak in the process.
He's got a win in the Cup Series, a win in the Nationwide Series. Elliott Sadler is going to win the first race at Pocono for the trucks. 3 different drivers going to victory lane for Kevin Harvick Incorporated at the last 3 races.
So it was Harvick, Hornaday, and then Sadler. 3 victories in a row. How about that for extra pressure?
No pressure here, huh? And a brand new sponsor, Moore's Marinade. So, yeah, I mean, we got a lot of pressure this weekend, but little truck was good, so we'll just have to see what happens.
Tell me about this racetrack, Ken. What's the biggest challenge tonight?
Can I get back with you on that? I mean, I've only been here with an ARCA car years ago, so I haven't really tested here much or anything. I think normal thing, just keep the truck turning and tight enough to turn on the wheel, but these races aren't very long. You don't have a lot of chances to adjust on them, so we'll have to see where we're at.
Good qualifying effort tonight for Kenny Schrader.
And Ray, you talk about pressure on Kenny Schrader. What about the point leader, Todd Bodine? You answered the bell with your first pole of 2010. So how do you manage this race tonight?
Well, hopefully not look back. You know, we've got a great truck, and Dysinger and all the guys at the motor shop been working their tails off and got us a great motor, and everybody at Germain Races put together a great Tundra. So hopefully no mistakes, you know, get out front, get a good pace. Hopefully the truck will be there. I think it is. It was really good on old tires, and it was comfortable. So, you know, hopefully it'll stay there all night.
Bodine looking for his first Nashville win here this evening, Krista.
Yeah, Todd Bodine going for his very first Gibson guitar. The winner gets a custom-designed Sam Bass Gibson guitar. There you see the bus here on display at the track. Still to come, lots of stuff going on for the drivers here in the Nashville area. On the charitable side, a young man gets to see his artwork come to life, and several drivers are there to help him out with it. We get you even closer to the action, a little thing we call bumper to bumper. Find out what is your favorite driver's favorite moment. We showed you something that's good for your heart. Well, we also have something good for your stomach. A trip to one of the most famous spots in Nashville, and our drivers are doing the cooking. We'll keep the setup cooking next. You're watching Speed. The setup is presented by Polaris, the hardest working, smoothest riding off-road vehicles, now at your local dealer. And brought to you in part by Camping World. Visit campingworld.com and check out our entire lineup of chairs, new fabrics to choose. Before we talk Nashville, let's give props to some guys who had good runs last week at Pocono. We are giving a thumbs up to Denny Hamlin. Hamlin came out to play once again with the Truck Boys and had a blast, finishing 9th. Mike Skinner. Skinner finished 6th at Pocono. Skinner, hard to believe, still looking for his first win of the season. He is another who has never won at this racetrack. Justin Lofton, you heard him tell Adam the team is full of confidence right now. Well, that's because he walked away with the second best finish of his career of 5th. Matt Crafton finished 3rd at Pocono. That's his 4th straight top 5. Crafton definitely a contender tonight. And what about Brett Butler? In the rookie fight, finished 23rd. He is now 16th in points. And this could be a young guy's night. Ron Hornaday, the only driver in the field who has won at Nashville. The doors cracked open just enough for possibly a new guy to squeeze through. Welcome back to the setup here at Nashville. You know, it was just a few months ago that this area was devastated by floods. The people of Nashville banded together to help their neighbors. Well, this week, our Truck Series community also came together for another great cause, Make-A-Wish, helping a young boy realize his dream.
It's what the Professional Truck Driver Association does. Just, you know, we raise money just to help kids out, just to put a smile on a kid's face, you know, and that means so much in this NASCAR community.
We're out here Rhythm and Race Fest and help raise some money for Make-A-Wish Foundation of Middle Tennessee, and Luke Robinson helped design our truck for this weekend. You saw his colored drawings on the back of his comic book.
My wish was to make a comic that would help kids understand that doctors aren't trying to hurt you when they do the stuff to you. This is Dr. Shrink. He's the main character. His powers, he can fly and shrink to the size of an atom. Super Shot, he's the sidekick. And the evil virus, he feeds off of human misery and illness.
Steve Turner decided to take all the Wolfpack rental, everything off of it. Steve said, you know, do what do we need to do to put a smile on the kid's face, and you know, he done it. We got a good group of people here this weekend. You know, Mickey James. Trent Thomason, he's here. We appreciate, you know, everybody for coming in and, you know, helping out, promote this whole deal. It's unbelievable.
What a great cause, and Luke is here. That's Luke Robinson. The team actually made him his very own fire suit. He is an official member of the team tonight. He's 12 years old from nearby Dixon, Tennessee. And here's the truck. This is showing off the artwork. He designed this truck, the 31 truck, hoping to go fast enough to throw that evil virus right off the back of the truck. We would love to see that happen. Ray, I think you're standing by with the driver, James Busher.
Here are the characters, Dr. Shrink, Evil Virus, and Super Shot. They are on the back of the uniform of James Busher. And James, you got a nice helper here, Luke Robinson. Come on in here, Luke. This is a fine fellow who designed your truck. Pretty cool, huh?
It's pretty cool. You know, he designed these comic book characters that he's got his own comic book that they're working on getting printed, and he's got them up on the bed top and on the back bumper of our truck, and it looks really good. And just happy to be a part of this whole deal with Make-A-Wish and letting Luke hang out with us all weekend, and part of the Rhythm and Race Fest in Nashville.
We had a great time, that's for sure, and James had a fantastic run at Dover. Hopefully they can replicate that tonight on the concrete of Nashville.
And Ray, Austin Dillon has been impressive of late. His 4th front row start tonight in the last 7 races. You finished 14th when the Truck Series came here in April, so how are your expectations different for tonight?
You know, we've really gained as a team. I've gained as a driver, and everything's just gotten better this year as the season's gone on, and we're racing more and more. And I'm excited about tonight for Bass Pro Shops. We got a really good truck. It's the same truck we had at Iowa and a very similar setup, so hopefully we can get out front and drive away with it, get that guitar.
Looking for win number 2, Krista.
All right, thanks, Adam. I'm actually standing right in front of Austin Dillon's truck, but I got to say, I'm now a huge fan of Luke Robinson. Watch out for that 31. You know, here at Nashville, the driver who has led the most laps has failed to win 4 of the last 6 races. Just another example that anything can happen. Standing by upstairs, and I believe fresh off an impromptu performance at Tootsie's in downtown Nashville. Michael would love if that was the case. Michael Waltrip, Rick Allen, and Phil Parsons. Guys?
Well, thanks, Krista. We want to talk a little bit about championship. And now that we're past the halfway point, Ron Hornaday trying to defend his title. Can he still win this championship, Phil?
Well, prior to his trouble he had last week at Pocono, I would have said yes, he had a shot. But after his trouble last week, he's 268 points behind with 12 races to go. I don't think he can do it.
Rick, I don't know what he's talking about. Of course Ron Hornaday can win this championship. He's proven before he knows how to come back.
Todd Bodine has won this championship before. He was 112 points ahead back in 2006 when he won this championship. He's 149 ahead now.
Well, do you remember back just a year ago, Ron Hornaday went on a 5-race winning streak, and in those 5 races, he gained 255 points on everybody in just 5 races.
Right. Yeah, but we have Talladega and Texas left, and Todd's won just about every time we go to those 2 places.
Well, Ron's a 4-time champion.
Well, Todd's a 1-time champion.
Well, in the races that are left, Todd's won 13 times.
Boys.
Ron's won 13 times. Todd's won 12 times.
Boys, can we settle this later?
Go right ahead.
Okay. we're going to talk about the championship all race and the rest of the season, but right now we want to get back to Krista.
No, I want to see you guys duke it out. I would love to see it. Not just your words. I want to see the boys go at it with their fists. Well, you never know what's going to happen at this track, and as you can see, some dissension in the booth about who is in and out of the championship. The next step happens here at Nashville. Well, before we go to break, we want to take you a little bit inside, bumper to bumper, to find out what our drivers' favorite racing moments are. You'll see it right here.
You know, that's a tough one because I've been fortunate enough to do some pretty cool things in different series and win races in different series. So for some reason, the win at Richmond in a nationwide car back in 2003 was just a huge deal for me personally, but everybody involved. It was a small team, and that was a pretty big win.
I have to say, winning my first race at Martinsville last fall. You know, 20 minutes from the house, basically all my family and friends are there, and to finally come home in victory lane at your home track, it was just pretty emotional.
The best finish was Atlanta this year for me. We ended up 6th against behind some really good guys, you know, Bush, Harvick. I mean, it was to be not far behind them in the small amount of time that I've been doing this, I was pretty happy.
Winning Charlotte a couple of years ago, that was definitely one of my most memorable and favorite things. And winning the Southwest Tour, the touring series where I won the championship, and that was definitely one of my greatest memories as well.
The first time I got to get, that I was able to race competitively in a NASCAR series, you know, when the dream finally came true was really a big moment. So as a little kid, all the racing with my dad, and then getting the big break into NASCAR racing and finally getting to race a NASCAR race, I accomplished my dream, and that was just a great moment. There's so many of them.
The setup is presented by Polaris, the hardest working, smoothest riding off-road vehicles, now at your local dealer. Matt Crafton and Johnny Sauter made the most of their trip to Nashville by making some kids smile. The ThorSport drivers visited the Ronald McDonald House. The Ronald McDonald House is a safe haven for sick kids and their families to stay while children are receiving medical care away from their homes. The drivers were honored to be invited.
We're here at the Ronald McDonald House. Brought the 13 truck with Roll of Gold and Nashville Superspeedway donated race tickets, and we came to visit all the children and families in the house.
A lot of these families come here, their children have illnesses, and they don't even know that they're going to be staying here. So, you know, they really take care of the families, and that's what we're here for, is just hopefully just to put a smile on their face and maybe take their mind off of what they're dealing with on a daily basis. And like Matt said, we got some pit passes and the racetrack, and everybody's helped some people out with some grandstand tickets to go out and watch the race tomorrow and just have a good time and get away from it all.
Very cool. Johnny Sauter has already won one race this week back in his home state of Wisconsin. Sauter won the ASA's Dixieland 150 late model event Tuesday night at Wisconsin International Raceway. Welcome back to the setup presented by Polaris. You know, when you put Ron Hornaday and Ricky Carmichael together, crazy things happen. Trust me, I went with them to the Iowa State Fair. We ended up taking pictures of the world's largest boar. Well, here in Nashville, they brought Austin Dillon along with them as they visited a Nashville staple where biscuits and gravy are a must.
Hi, I'm Jesse with the Loveless Cafe. We are a Nashville institution. Been sitting here on the side of Highway 100 since 1951, serving up our famous biscuits, fried chicken, country ham, and good old red-eye gravy. We've got some NASCAR truck drivers here today, and we're gonna see if we can get them in there and put them to work.
Carmichael, butter those up. Put that heart stuff in there.
That's right. Clean out your arteries, Horn. Dude, that's so wrong. That ain't right.
Hey, that last batch, I think my nose is running. You might want to check that one. That's not the butter.
Here's your biscuits, everybody.
A couple biscuits for y'all for the special guests.
Special made. I made them in the back. Extra butter.
How are you supposed to do this? I've never been a waiter before. Am I rude? There we go.
I feel like it's an honor now. We got to make biscuits at Loveless Cafe, and had fun doing it. I know I'm not the greatest biscuit maker. I'll have to come back for biscuits and definitely not try and make them.
Now, Carmichael never got to eat any of that stuff when he was riding motorcycles, that's for sure. Austin Dillon's actually hanging out, watching the piece with us as we speak. But I know some other drivers are antsy to get this thing going, including the guy standing by with Ray Dunlap.
And Krista, that would be Timothy Peters. The last few races, you guys have been running 6th, 7th, or 8th, but today it appears you have the best horse. Can you ride it to the front?
I think so. You know, I love coming to Nashville. I always had great success out here. Jeff Hensley and all the guys on this Red Horse Racing, Toyota Tundra, give me a great truck when we unload it right off the lift gate. So we sat on the pole here in the last summer race. So we picked up right where we left off. We just didn't get the 2 more spots that we needed. But you know, West Metal Cutting Tools is on board. I'd like to thank Tom DeLoach for giving me an awesome opportunity, and also want to say hey to Dean Ferris sitting back at home. He's a good friend of mine. He got me to where I'm at today. Always helped me out with a lot of stuff, and he's battling with his health right now. It means a lot to me. Love you, man. Wishing you well.
Well, Dean, stay tuned tonight. He may have qualified 3rd, but from practice, if that's any result, Timothy Peters will be at the front. Adam?
Ray, it's kind of a good news, bad news situation for Eric Almirola. The good, you're 2nd in points after a top 5 run at Pocono. The bad, a long way to go to catch Bodine. So how aggressive do you have to be on track tonight?
No different than any other weekend. We want to go out and win races. I mean, that's what we want to do. We want to go out and do it for Graceway Pharmaceuticals and everybody here at Billy Blue Motorsports. These guys put a lot of heart and soul into these trucks, and you know, we're capable of doing it. Nashville's never really been that nice to us, so we've struggled here in the past, and we're trying to turn that around tonight. We come with a totally different package, and we've been trying stuff, just trying to get better here. For whatever reason, this place just fights us. So, you know, we're coming with something totally different. We qualified better than we've ever qualified here, so hopefully tonight will pay off for us.
They say change is good, Krista.
Yeah, he's definitely looking for a little change in his luck. There you see the drivers starting to arrive at their trucks, ready to go racing. We're going to get you closer to the action when we come back. It's a big triple-header weekend in Watkins Glen. Nationwide sports cars in the book, so the Cup Series along with race day still on your plate for tomorrow. Don't forget to follow Camping World Truck Series on Speed on Twitter, and a special happy birthday to our IT guru, George Grill. By the way, my computer needs some work. And speaking of work, these boys are about to get to work. Nashville is where people go to chase their dreams. Tonight is no different. There may not be a recording deal on the line, but there is a guitar.
As we pass the halfway point of the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series season, Matt Crafton is within striking distance of a championship, 5th in the standings. Timothy Peters set the pace early with his trip to victory lane in Daytona, but hasn't been able to maintain that level of performance, dropping him to 4th. Johnny Sauter won in the heartland of Kansas, and that's helped him dig out of the hole he found himself in after the first race of the season. Eric Almirola is the only driver in the top 5 with 2 wins and still finds himself 149 points behind series leader Todd Bodine. Consistency may win the series championship in 2010. Bodine has been to victory lane this season and knows his 2nd championship is within reach. 4 times the winner of this race has gone on to win the championship. It may be an indicator again tonight. Welcome to the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series Nashville 200, presented on Speed by Toyota. Well, the last time we were here in April, Kyle Busch won the race. Kevin Harvick finished 2nd, and the guy who finished 3rd was Ron Hornaday. Ron Hornaday needs to get back on a roll. He won this race a year ago, and so if he wants to defend his title, it's got to start tonight. That's one of the stories we're going to be following. We go to Ray Dunlap with another story for tonight's race.
Well, Rick, I want to talk about David Starr. You know, he comes into this race tonight 9th in points and brings a brand new sponsor tonight here to Nashville, Cash America. But they had problems earlier today here. David Starr brought the truck that they had run at St. Louis. He really likes this particular truck, but man, he got into the wall hard. Cash had a problem where the sway bar was rubbing the right front tire and destroyed that truck. So they had to pull the back up, and he didn't have as much time on the racetrack tonight as they would like. David Starr rolls off on the grid starting 20th. Adam?
Ray, there have been plenty of highs and lows in the sophomore season for Ricky Carmichael in the Camping World Truck Series. In fact, he's had a DNF in 3 of the last 6 races. To make matters worse, this week in a motorcycle exhibition run, driver number 4 twisted his ankle. Plenty of adversity for him. If he can get it turned around tonight, he will do so with a new crew chief, Doug Randolph, replacing Michael Fritz atop the pit box. Rick?
Thanks, Ray and Adam. So we've got a lot of things that we're going to keep our eyes on this evening as far as what's happening on the racetrack. The team's getting ready for our pre-race ceremonies. And again, just 12 races remain in the 2010 season. And Todd Bodine has a big lead in the championship run. Can he win his second title? Well, it's all going to start right here tonight. Let's get the pre-race ceremonies underway. We go back trackside.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you would please rise and join us as our colors are presented by the Nashville Recruiting Battalion of the United States Army. And please remain standing for our invocation delivered tonight by Joe Nelms of the Family Baptist Church in Lebanon, Tennessee.
Our Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight asking for your blessings upon this venue. Lord, we thank you for this track who is so blessed to have given to this community, Lord. We thank you for how they have come together to help repair the flood-ravaged area that we live in. God, we pray that you would keep each driver safe tonight. Lord, I pray as they race bumper to bumper with their fenders up against one another, their gears jamming, I pray you'd watch over them, Lord, as they lay their lives on the line so that we might shout and cheer. God, I pray you would watch over them as they go 3 wide into the turn with glitz and glamour and guts on the line. I pray, God, that your hand would be upon them. Lord, I pray you'd watch over us tonight. Give us the greatest race ever witnessed upon this property, and for that we give you the thanks in Jesus' name. Amen.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, with our national anthem, please welcome Big Machine recording artist Eden's Edge.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Fireworks before the race, and as soon as the green flag drops, there'll be fireworks on the racetrack. Who's going to find victory lane at Nashville in Music City, USA? The only driver in the field tonight that's been to victory lane here is Ron Hornaday. Can he repeat? We're about to find out. The NASCAR Camping World Truck Series is presented on speed by Toyota. Brought to you in part by Camping World. Visit campingworld.com and check out our line of chairs. New fabrics to choose from. And by Herculiner Truck Bed Liners. With Herculiner, the tough comes easy. And welcome back to Nashville Superspeedway. We go back trackside to Chris Devoda for our Polaris resetup.
Yeah, that's right, Rick. So many storylines to follow. Let's start with our front row. Todd Bodine is on the pole. Austin Dillon will start alongside in row 1. Also, KHI goes for 4 in a row, and if Schrader's the one to do it, he will be the 4th different driver to win for KHI. And this is an opportunity race. Hornaday, the only one in the field who has won here, and without Kyle Busch and Kevin Harvick in the race, a great chance to see a new solo. Well, nobody brings you closer to the action. We are still out here on pit road amongst the trucks. A lot going on, that's for sure. So, boys, all I know is there's a pretty good chance we could have a new guitar hero tonight.
That's a good possibility, Krista. Thank you so much for that reset up by Polaris. Now, Mikey, we don't have Cup drivers in the field tonight. How does that affect our race?
Well, specifically, when we were here just in April, the 2 guys that you had to beat were Kevin Harvick and Kyle Busch. Every time they show up, those are the guys you got to beat. They're not here tonight. It's going to be wild, Phil.
It really is. And ever since these guys unloaded, there's been the same 3 trucks up at the top of the board. Todd Bodine, Austin Dillon, and Timothy Peters have been the fastest trucks. They were the fastest 3 trucks in both practice sessions, and that's how they qualified, 1, 2, 3. But in the garage area, a lot of the guys were talking about this track getting tighter and tighter as it cools off, and they said the guys that qualify up front are going to be too tight. And so the guys back about 10th or 15th, the trucks were too loose qualifying, they're going to be the ones going to the front.
And to back up what Phil said back in 06, Johnny Benson won from the 22nd starting spot. So we got a wide open race tonight.
The race has only been won 3 times from the pole, the first 2 races, and then last year. So could we have a winner come from the 13s, maybe even the 20th starting position? It's very possible it could happen tonight. Let's get everything going by starting the engines. We go trackside for the command.
And now for those most famous words in motorsports, please welcome from Somerset, Kentucky, Mr. Keith Chambers.
Here we go. Drivers, start your engines!
I will say he said, "Here we go," before he gave that command. That was a heartfelt command. The engines have fired. The green flag flies when we come back to Nashville. Welcome back to Nashville 200, presented on Speed by Toyota from Nashville Superspeedway here in Lebanon, Tennessee. And what a gorgeous evening for racing. Under the lights, 83 degrees, clear skies above, just a very slight breeze. Our starting grid's going to roll across the bottom of your screen. Todd Bodine, with his 6th career pole, will lead the field to the green flag. His 5 previous starts up front have garnered him 3 wins, so he wants to keep that streak moving. Take a look at our Z-Max track description of this 1 1/3 racetrack.
Great concrete racetrack. You see the corners of bank 14 degrees, the straightaway 9, backstretch 6 degrees. Michael, a very, very racy racetrack, and the concrete doesn't change as much as asphalt does.
Yeah, but Phil, what I like about this racetrack is all the momentum you can gain when you exit turn 4. The front straightaway sweeps out, makes a tri-oval, and when it does so, you're able to really gain speed exiting turn 4 and run hard down into turn 1. Conversely, when you exit turn 2, it gets tight over there.
I want to take a look at our Toyota race analysis for tonight's race. Again, it's a 200-mile race, 150 laps.
Here you can see our pit window is about 65 or 70 laps. That means these trucks more than likely will stop the 2 times it will take to get to the 200-mile distance.
Yeah, and sometimes two tires will work here, and pit strategy could become a big part of how you're going to win this race. We're going to have a bunch of players trying to figure out how to win this race, so we're liable to see some differing strategies.
Randy Kaiser pulling the pace car off of pit road, and the field begins to move now. As they roll along pit road, let's take a closer look at a few different drivers in tonight's Speed Spotlight. We begin with Ray Dunlap.
Well, thank you, Rick. I'd like to focus tonight on Ryan Sieg. They had a great run when we were at Dover earlier this year. Had his best ever finish of a 9th. And because that track and this track are so similar, they wanted to make sure they had the very same truck. The problem is he got in a big wreck at Charlotte, which was not of his doing. And it has taken this very small team each and every day since that race at Charlotte the time to rebuild this particular truck and get it here tonight. Ryan Sieg gets his best qualifying effort on a big track. He'll roll off 12th tonight here at Nashville. Adam?
A couple of rows behind Ryan will be Johanna Long. She starts in the 16th position. Her 2nd career start this evening after finishing 17th last month at O'Reilly Raceway Park. That good run earned her approval for NASCAR to be here this evening, and she hopes another solid effort here tonight will get her a chance to run at one of the upcoming mile-and-a-half tracks at either Chicago or Kentucky. And on the hood this evening, visit Pensacola Beach. She's trying to support those back home as they deal with the oil spill in the Gulf. Phil?
Adam, I want to shine a spotlight on Bobby Hamilton Jr. Bobby Jr. has 5 nationwide wins in NASCAR. In 2004, Bobby Jr. sat on the pole here for this truck race, and his dad, Bobby Sr., won the race. That's only the 3rd time that ever happened in the history of NASCAR. Twice in the Cup Series, once here in the Camping World Truck Series. In addition to being a nationwide series owner, Bobby Jr. owns a racetrack, Highland Rim Speedway, just a little bit north of Nashville, and he will start the direct auto insurance Chevy, Mikey, in the 19th spot.
Phil, can I shine my speed spotlight on Brett Butler? There's Brett. Brett's going to roll off in the 33rd position in his Fuel Doctor Chevy. Guys, this team's done a terrific job in 2010 on a tight budget. Brett is currently 16th in the points, but team owner Rick Ware, he's worried. This team desperately needs additional sponsorship to finish out the season. Rick has been around the garage area since the late 90s, and his trucks have almost 200 starts. Let's hope this team can land the sponsorship they need to continue their strong season. Brett Butler from Lawrenceville, Georgia is my guy, y'all.
Always a great show here at Nashville Superspeedway because of great pictures. And we'll be able to ride along with a few different drivers. One of those carrying our cameras will be Ricky Carmichael. He starts in the 14th position.
We're also going to ride along with the 88 Menard Chevrolet for Matt Crafton, and Matt will start in the 6th spot.
Let's go inside Eric Almirola's truck. He's rolling off from the 5th spot. He's got the Toyota onboard camera. Riding along, you can see Matt, look at his eyes, already focused and ready to start this race.
Also carrying one of the Toyota onboards is Timothy Peters. He will start this in the 3rd position, and he was one of the best trucks in both practices earlier today. We'll see how he does when the green flag drops. Before that green flag flies, we do want to go back trackside and get our thoughts before green. We'll start with Ray Dunlap.
Well, thank you, Rick. It's always fun when we have lots of different winners in a series. In fact, we've had 7 consecutive different winners here in the Camping World Trucks. But tonight at Nashville, there's a very good chance that you're going to see a repeat winner. I mean from a truck, because we've got 5 different trucks in the field tonight that have already gone to victory lane this season. You'll notice the 2 that are highlighted in yellow, Kyle Busch and Kevin Harvick each have wins. There'll be different drivers in those trucks tonight. Brian Eichler and Ron Hornaday will have behind the wheel of those trucks. I think Eichler has a shot at getting his first career win tonight right here at Nashville. Adam?
Ray, one driver noticeably absent from tonight's field, the only driver to win more than once at Nashville. We're talking about Johnny Benson. This track is all about parity when it comes to the Camping World Truck Series, but that's not true with other forms of racing. Check out these numbers. Carl Edwards in the NASCAR Nationwide Series recorded 3 consecutive wins here at Nashville. Frank Kimmel did the same in the ARCA Racing Series, and Scott Dixon pulled it off in 06, 07, and 8 in an Indy car. Ron Hornaday, the man trying to go back-to-back here tonight. He's the only driver in the field that's recorded a victory at this track. Rick?
Thank you, Ray. Both you and Adam doing a great job down there. One thing I want to ask you, Phil, you mentioned earlier that the track is going to change from what they were used to. This is a concrete track. We talk about these not changing that much. Why will the track change?
I think just because of the cooler temperatures, and as this track rubbers up, I think that's what's going to cause the change. Not so much the temperature as it is the fact that it's going to rubber up, continue to rubber up more and more and more. And all the crew chiefs say they think this track's going to get tighter.
Yeah, and when your trucks, when it's hot and the trucks are sliding around on the track, maybe it doesn't build that rubber onto the racetrack. When it cools down, these things really start sticking, then the truck does rubber up, and that's why these trucks will change quite a lot between now and the end of the race.
It's Todd Bodine up front. It's his 6th career pole, bringing the field to the green flag. Austin Dillon will start outside of him. Green flag flies. We're underway from Nashville.
Good jump by Todd Bodine. He put himself ahead of the outside truck of Austin Dillon. Is going to easily lead down into turn 1.
Todd would like to go ahead and get those 5 bonus points for leading this race. Get him out of the way.
But he slid way up the hill off too. I told you it tightened up over there. Todd's truck drove up high, and Timothy Peters drove right up on his tailgate.
Todd Bodine, Timothy Peters, Austin Dillon, and Eric Almirola. And now the moving truck is the 88 of Matt Crafton. He's trying to get to the outside of that 2 of Kenny Schrader.
Strong qualifying run from Schrader. I talked to him. He said he liked his truck in race conditions, but he didn't show a lot of speed in qualifying practice prior to the session we had today. He put it up in the top 5 and is strong early.
We had teammates battling for position there. Johnny Sauter and Matt Crafton were side by side. Sauter just in front of Crafton now in that number 13.
As Ray mentioned, that truck is a former winner here in the series that won this year at Kansas, as well as last year at Las Vegas for that 13 truck.
Field already in line as they cross the stripe a second time. Again, Bodine, Peters, Dillon, Almirola, and Schrader, your top 5. Johnny Sauter, Matt Crafton, Ron Hornaday, Ryan Sieg, and Ricky Carmichael, your top 10.
Brian Eichler on the inside of Ricky Carmichael.
His truck's going side by side through the corner there. James Busher down the bottom. His truck looked a little wiggly.
Looks like it's going to allow Justin Lofton to get by on the outside in that 7 truck.
That's something you're not going to see a whole lot of, passing on the outside, but he was able to.
How about passing on the inside, Michael? Timothy Peters trying to take the top spot away from Todd Bodine, and while they do that, a wreck on the racetrack. Johanna Long in the 15 involved in this.
That's
Narain Karthikeyan in the 60 also. So our first caution comes out on lap number 4. Johanna Long in the 15, Narain Karthikeyan in the 60.
Johanna had done such a great job in her series debut at ORP, getting that top 20 finish, steady and strong all night long. Learned the whole night, but an early in this evening. Wonder what happens. See if we can get a look here.
It looks like Narain just lost the front of the truck. Maybe got a little bit loose. Anyway, had to chase it up the hill and made contact with Johanna. Nothing she could do about that.
No, that's a shame for her. Both those competitors, because she needed the laps to learn, and Narain did as well. And now his truck's damaged. He's not going to be able to learn much from now on because he's tore up his truck.
Just 4 laps into this one, and already Johanna Long and Narain Karthikeyan get into each other coming out of turn number 4. First caution of the night here at Nashville. Tomorrow, NASCAR Race Day takes on the Glen, and we're there. It's Kevin Harvick, Marcus Ambrose, who comes off his win in the Nationwide Series today, and Boris Said join us live. Plus, we'll hear from Greg Biffle and crew chief Greg Irwin about winning one for Jack. NASCAR Race Day built by the Home Depot, live from Watkins Glen tomorrow, 10 Eastern, only on Speed. Johanna Long already in the garage, and you see the damage to that race truck, and this is why.
Looking right at your screen there. Narain Karthikeyan just gets up the racetrack. Johanna gave him plenty of room down underneath, and then he had to chase his truck up the hill. He made contact with her left rear quarter and back turn to the outside wall.
Ray Dunlap, what's going on with Jason White?
Well, somewhere, Rick, right behind that crash, Jason White was running through the field, but apparently he must have spun to avoid that or got spun by someone. He just came down pit road on lap number 5, and they put 4 fresh tires on that Gunbroker truck. So one set of his tires used up already very, very early in the race tonight.
Man, you couldn't have asked Johanna to do any more than she did. She gave Narain the whole bottom of the racetrack. You know, it's just heartbreaking after she did such a great job at ORP to see her not get a chance to continue that learning curve.
Getting ready for lap number 8. Green flag back in the air. Again, Timothy Peters with a strong performance. He was able to take the top spot away from Todd Bodine.
How about Eric Almirola now in a battle for 3rd? Looks like he's going to grab that 3rd spot from Austin Dillon.
Austin's fighting back on the bottom of the racetrack. The bottom of the racetrack is the preferred groove. Todd Bodine looks like his truck's tight, like you guessed he might be, Phil. After being so fast in qualifying, that truck comfortable enough to grab the pole. It looks like it's wanting to push up in the turn. He's not able to hold it down, especially off turn 2 over there.
And here comes Ron Hornaday trying to get that 4th spot away from Eric Almirola. Austin Dillon was able to wrestle that 3rd spot back.
Yeah, Austin took the spot on the bottom. Eric took a chance, went to the top side, tried to make something happen, and it wound up costing him. He lost his spot to Hornaday, and now he's getting ready to lose another one as Johnny Sauter's down on the inside of him.
Johnny Sauter in the 13 looks to take the spot away from Eric Almirola. Almirola stuck on the outside line now. We're also seeing the 18 of Brian Eichler moving up just a bit higher. Ray Dunlap, what's happening with Eric Almirola?
Loose in, tight off is the call from truck number 51, and that's why he doesn't like that spot on the racetrack. He really wants to try to get to the bottom and work on that thing. Very loose in. He said the tight off's only about a 4. That's on a 1 to 10 scale.
Well, we're going to 3 wide off turn 2. You don't see this a lot at Nashville.
And teammates, or 2 of the 3.
Matt Crafton down to the bottom of the racetrack. That's his teammate on the outside of him, Johnny Sauter in the 13. So Crafton takes a position away. Eichler just in front of him in the 18, running strong.
Johnny drifted way wide, opened up the bottom of the racetrack for Kenny Schrader in the 2 truck.
Man, I really like the way that 88 truck looks, guys. If you can have a truck that'll just hunt that bottom, run right next to that black pavement on the inside of the track, that's what you're after. And Crafton's truck looks like it's doing it better than anyone's right now.
Continue the battle for the 6th position. Brian Eichler in the 18. Eric Almirola, Matt Crafton, all fighting for the spot. Johnny Sauter's dropped back as we see the 2 of Ken Schrader. Justin Lofton in the 7.
How about Bobby Hamilton Jr.? Bobby started back in the 19th position, already up into the almost to the top 10.
You can see him trailing right behind Justin Lofton. Lofton's up on the back of Schrader, so Schrader started up in the 4th spot, dropped back to 9th. And on the other hand, Bobby Jr.'s driven all the way up to the edge of the top 10.
This is a 200-mile race. We come off of just finishing up a 125-mile race, which seemed like a sprint compared to this. This will almost feel like a marathon for these drivers.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, 200 miles goes awfully quick here.
We only had 2 cautions the whole time we were here in April, so the track does lend itself to some green flag racing, and you're right, Phil, it'll fly by.
Adam Alexander.
And problems early, Rick, for the driver who started in the 13th position. We're talking about James Busher. He's been on a nice run lately, but just as the green flag went back in the air, he reported a left rear tire going down. He came to pit road at lap 8. They changed left side tires. They fixed the problem. That's the good news. The bad news is they had to do it under green. He scored in 30th position or somewhere thereabouts, 1 lap down.
Austin Dillon takes over the 2nd spot from Todd Bodine. Again, the 3 fastest trucks all day long are still running 1st, 2nd, 3rd. Let's take a look at how Austin Dillon got this 2nd spot. He's going to follow Todd, going to move to the outside. Todd said, okay, you're faster than me. I'm going to let you go.
What Austin did, he was heating Todd up. He was dogging him into turns, and Todd just said, okay, I get it. I see it. It's early now. I need to work on my truck. You go on, Austin. Austin being a rookie and Todd being a point leader, that's how you preserve a point lead.
Well, and yeah, a championship right now is what Todd Bodine has outside of his windshield. He knows that if he continues on without problems, he's going to be a champion.
You know, he made some mistakes. He made a mistake in Iowa, a couple of them, big ones, and they cost him a lot that day. But, you know, maybe he learned so much that'll actually end up paying off, because we've seen him race very smart ever since Iowa. And you know what he said after Iowa? He fessed up. He said, I got to be smarter than that, and he's certainly been that.
And, Michael, I think he's struggling right now. Ron Hornaday came from a long ways back to get by. I think we were right. I think his truck's getting tighter and tighter, and he's losing a bunch of positions. Here goes Brian Eichler now, and Matt Crafton's going to be next.
Todd Bodine is dropping like a rock. Again, he started up front, won the pole earlier today.
Now he's going to want to try to fall in there somewhere and find him somewhere to run. He can't just keep giving positions away. That truck isn't running well early for sure.
This time by across the stripe, Todd Bodine falls all the way back to the 7th spot.
I'm going to tell you, you're going to have to beat Matt Crafton before tonight's over. He's got a truck that'll go fast down on the. Look at Todd.
Look at Todd.
Way up high.
Way up the racetrack.
I think it's something more than just a tight condition, don't you, Michael?
Could it be a flat tire? Something's definitely wrong with it. If it is just a tight condition, I don't know if they're going to be able to fix that. You can see it just wanting to go straight when he gets to the turn.
That was big time tight.
Timothy Peters has a 2.2 second lead over Austin Dillon, Ron Hornaday, and Eric Almirola. 3rd and 4th. Matt Crafton holds on to the 5th spot. When the green flag flew, it wasn't long before our first caution, but now a good green flag run here at Nashville. Welcome back to the Nashville 200, presented on Speed by Toyota. Our second caution has come out. This time it was the 89 of Chris Lafferty. He had problems on the racetrack. Looks like the motor maybe gave out for him.
But a huge break for somebody like Todd Bodine, who was dropping like a stone.
There had to be something wrong with that truck. It looked like maybe that right rear tire was low when he rode by. Ray, you hear anything down there in the pit?
It was flat, Michael, so Todd really got lucky to get that caution and get here to the pits. They pulled that right rear off. You see him banging on it right there. It doesn't appear to have a cut on it anywhere. They're trying to examine to see what the problem might be, but definitely way low on air pressure, right rear for truck 30.
See a mark there. They put an X on it.
And there had been...
Excuse me, Adam, go ahead.
Sorry, Michael. I was just going to say in regard to the 17 truck of Timothy Peters, there have been no complaints in regard to his truck in the early portion of this race. He said, I'm just a little loose in turn 1, but absolutely we need to change nothing in the early going, and obviously they elected to stay out. Jeff Hensley, the crew chief, saying it's too early for us to come down pit road.
Boy, I would have a problem with Timothy Peters complaining about his truck right now, as good as that thing is.
Yeah, you put it out in that clean air, too. You know, if you've got a good truck, you can get it to the front and take advantage of having no trucks ahead of you, knocking the air off your nose. That's good. That's when your truck feels absolutely the best.
Timothy Peters was fastest in the first practice earlier today. Then he was third fastest in our final practice. The Nashville 200, presented on Speed by Toyota, continues after this. Welcome back to Nashville Superspeedway for the Nashville 200, presented on Speed by Toyota. Again, under our second caution, this one for Chris Lafferty and the engine expiring on that race truck. That puts 6 trucks now behind the wall. Lafferty, Harmon, Stout, Garvey, Johanna Long, and Carl Long are off the racetrack.
It's going to be a great restart here. Austin Dillon is going to get a shot up front here with Timothy Peters.
Timothy's been so strong early in the race. He's just jetted off to a lead, so we see if Austin can hang beside him. Hadn't seen anybody have much luck up on the top.
Green flag back in the air. Timothy Peters right in the gas early. Austin Dillon on his outside trying to hang on to second. Here comes Ron Hornaday in the 33 battling for that second spot.
There's Tom O'Dine mired back in traffic trying to work his way back towards the front.
Hornaday takes second away from Austin Dillon. Now Matt Crafton in the 88 looking strong to the bottom of the racetrack trying to get by Austin Dillon.
He gets up beside Austin as they get down in turn number 3. Austin on the high side. Not able to match the speed up off the corner. Crafton has third.
That's extremely strong, guys. That truck is right. Look at him just tucking to the bottom of the racetrack. Got a great run on Hornaday to the inside for second.
Hornaday gives him room. Moves up the hill. Opens up that bottom for Crafton.
Plenty of room for Matt Crafton to try to take second away. But here comes Hornaday back on the outside.
Hornaday had the momentum from the high side there up off of turn number 2. Eric Almirola now pulls to the inside of Austin Dillon in a battle for 4th.
Crafton still battling for that second spot as we see Timothy Peters now start to check out on these two.
Matt Crafton's
second lead.
Matt Crafton's truck's really good down. Ooh, look at Hornaday. He tries to crowd Almirola out. Eric's having none of it. He's going to dive to the inside of Hornaday and try to grab that third spot. When you've got a truck that'll turn as good as Crafton's does and you're down on the inside of someone, Phil, as Almirola is there, you have to be careful because if you're free enough to turn good, the truck on the outside of you taking the air off the side of your truck can make you free enough to spin out.
That's why I was a little bit worried with Hornaday and Almirola because Hornaday really crowded Almirola down, but his truck was tight enough there. He didn't lose that air off the spoiler and get loose.
How about Austin Dillon dropping all the way back to 7th now? He was on the outside of the front row when the green flag flew.
Well, we talked about that upper groove just not being a place where you can make a whole lot of time, and that was just a result of Hornaday getting the jump on him on that start, getting to the inside, shuffled him out. He wound up back in the 6th spot. He's going to shake out the 6th spot before he's able ever to get down on the bottom of the racetrack.
Let's check out Tom O'Dine's progress. Now he's cleared that huge group of traffic that he was with. There he is right there, battling with the 5 of Mike Skinner. There's Bobby Hamilton Jr., the 6 right behind him. Todd now is being shown in the 15th position. Good battle for second side by side. Almirola and Crafton.
You can see how Almirola just dove way to the bottom of the straightaway, just wanting to get away from Crafton as best he could to try to get a good clean entry into the corner without Crafton being on his side. And Almirola makes that pass look pretty easy.
I was talking to Almirola's crew chief Richie Waters down in the garage here, and he said they started out practice today coil binding in left front. And he said that didn't seem to work. And as Eric alluded to earlier, they tried some things in practice. They went back to the traditional right front, he said, and they were a lot better.
48 of Michelle Theriault. That's her on the bottom of the racetrack in the white number 48. A little bit slower. She's 3 laps down to the field now as we see Johnny Sauter and Austin Dillon.
Austin will rebound. He'll start to rebound now, Rick. You know, he got hung up on the top, and now he's just slowly starting to click his way back up through these guys. He's run down Johnny Sauter after losing a few truck lengths to him, battling back there with Schrader.
He actually lost the spot to Schrader and got back by Kenny just a lap or so ago.
So Austin Dillon fighting back after restarting second outside of the 17 of Timothy Peters. Timothy Peters now has a 2.2 second lead over second place Eric Almirola. Then Matt Crafton and Hornaday are close for the third spot.
It'll be interesting to see what kind of lap times Eric Almirola now can run now that he's out in clean racetrack. He's still about 2.5 tenths of a second off Timothy Peters this last lap.
Schrader continues to lose spots. You see Eichler got down on the inside of him, made the pass there, dropping Schrader back to the 8th position, and Justin Lofton's all over the back of that number 2 truck now. Truck's going for 4 wins in a row with different drivers. It's Schrader's turn to try to pull into victory lane. He's got his work cut out for him early in the going.
His teammates side by side once again. This is Mike Skinner and David Starr. David Starr, that's a backup truck. His primary truck got crushed in our first practice today.
James Butcher is able to get by David Starr. At least he's on the inside of David Starr. Remember, he's 1 lap down because of that flat tire he changed under green, but he is in position potentially to get that lucky dog.
So Butcher trying to hang on to this position so that he can get the lucky dog, get back on the lead lap, be competitive in this race as we're on lap 31. Battle for third. On the inside, that's Hornaday. Outside is Matt Crafton. Hornaday looking strong at the bottom of the racetrack.
And you can see that black number 3 truck of Austin Dillon. He is able to get around Sauter. Now he's driven directly up on the back of this battle for third. Hornaday grabs that spot from Crafton, and it looks like Sauter is going to try to do the same thing. Just goes to show you, Rick, how important a restart is. You give up a few spots. In 2 laps, you can give up 4 or 5 spots, and it's going to take you 20 or 30 to get back. And that's exactly what Austin Dillon is living right now.
Tough break for Bobby Hamilton Jr. Ray, what's going on with Bobby Jr.?
Well, apparently the alternator was not working in this truck, Phil. The battery drained down. They lost power. He came to the garage, or excuse me, to the pit area here, and they have a spare battery in the pits, but for some reason it won't fit in the truck. So the team is scrambling, running back to the garage now to try to get him back in the race. But obviously he had a really good start to today's event, but rest of it doesn't look good for the 16.
What a horrible break for Bobby Jr. We documented the fact that he was just outside the top 10, and looks like his day's ruined for sure.
Timothy Peters, though, having a great night. 3 seconds ahead of Eric Almirola, looking for his 3rd win in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. After starting off the season with a bang in Daytona, he has not found victory lane. Could it be tonight in Nashville? Stay with us. Be the biggest racing fan you can be with Verizon Championship Racing at the track and on your phone. From nationwide IndyCar driver meet and greets to exclusive peeks inside the Penske garage right on your VCAS phone. For your hard card to Racing Nirvana, only from the network with the most 3G coverage, Verizon.
Racing Nirvana, that's a good thing, right?
I think so.
It is a good thing. A good thing for the 17 is that his competition is almost 4 seconds behind him. Timothy Peters has a 4-second lead over Eric Almirola. Hornaday running 3rd. Austin Dillon's battled back up to the 4th spot. Johnny Sauter in 5th. There we see Matt Crafton working, trying to get by the 2 of Ken Schrader, but Schrader is the stronger truck here, and Schrader will take the position away from Matt Crafton.
Well, not so quick, Rick. Crafton's going to battle back on the outside, and Norm Benning's down on the low line, so I think Schrader will just lay out and let Crafton keep that spot for now. But Crafton's truck's kind of gone really tight. Early in the going, I thought he had the truck to win with the way it was cutting to the bottom, but now it's sliding up the hill. That's what these trucks do here at Nashville. As time goes on, they start to get tighter and tighter.
Left side of your screen, you're seeing Jason White's truck. The hood is up on that. Ray, what are they doing?
Well, at first they thought it was a broken engine, Rick, but it appears that the radiator is busted. So Jason White has been leaking little bits of water as they've gone around. The crew just came around looking at it real tight here, and they've decided they're going to have to pull the radiator and replace it. So a long time behind the wall for Team 23. Adam?
It's been a rough start for teammates Mike Skinner and David Starr, but they did come to pit road for service at lap 19. Both trucks extremely loose. They still find themselves outside the top 10, but pitting under caution may help them later. This is the segment of the race in April where we saw a long green flag run, and that could pay big dividends for them because they could stay out much longer than the other drivers who are yet to come to pit road.
See, James Butcher, remember, 1 lap down because of an unscheduled pit stop following the 12 tire monkey of Mario Goslin. Mario's up in the 12th spot. Pretty good run going so far.
Solid run for Mario. And Jason White might have had a leaky radiator, but I believe it went and blew the motor up because there was some smoke out of the pipes like the engine had been damaged. So I know there's a lot of people at Red Rocks back in Charlotte, North Carolina that had gathered to watch the race tonight because Jason was pumped up about his truck. But darn, after a great qualifying lap on lap 1, his oil line came loose on lap 2, and now all of a sudden his engine breaks. So
how about Todd Bodine? He's had an up and down day. Started on the pole, lap 9. He was second. Then he drifted all the way back to 16th on lap number 25. Now he's made his way back up into the top 10. Right now being shown in the 8th spot.
Do you know how fortunate he was? Right when his tire was going flat, Chris Lafferty broke an engine. The caution flies. Todd comes to pit road. I know while the process of a tire going flat, you start thinking, man, we've got a bad truck. This thing's terrible before you finally realize that it's a tire that is causing your problem. Look at this battle. Are they going to go 3 wide?
I'm going to think about it. This is a battle for 12th through 14th.
Calmer heads prevailed there, and they only went 2 wide and then backed off as we see Mario Goslin in front of the 81 of David Starr.
Donnie Lee and that 21 truck has joined this battle.
Now, Donnie's a fast driver. Look, he's going to drive up on the inside of Skinner. I love watching Donnie Lee go about things. Ever since he won that race in Mansfield a couple years ago, I've been a huge fan. Took him 3 wide on a 3/8 mile track to grab the victory. You know he's not going to be shy about going 3 wide here if he needs to.
You think David Starr remembers that pass that he made there at Mansfield? Because it was David Starr who was leading that race when Donnie Lee came up on the inside of him. David Starr just in front of Donnie Lee as well as the 5 of Mike Skinner.
Remember Donnie Lee winning that modified race at Bristol last year, and you know we're going to be airing that on Speed same night as a truck race Wednesday night coming up in a couple weeks in Bristol. We will have that modified race again.
You see David Starr making the move down on the inside of the tire monkey there as they hit the corner. David Starr had to readjust his goals. He had a truck he thought he could get a top 5, maybe even win the race with. When he got to Nashville, had a crash, needed to regroup and try to just get a solid top 10 finish. He's making his way toward that. That's the 12th spot he just grabbed. So good run for David in a backup truck.
3 wide. Mike Skinner was in the middle of that, but they were able to sneak by the slower lap traffic. Mario Goslin just in front of those 2 trucks running side by side for position.
We've talked about the fact that Ron Hornaday is the only former winner in the field here at Nashville. David Starr does have a runner-up finish back in 2004, so he runs well at this racetrack.
Skinner got by and is being able to hold off that 21 of Donnie Lee. We see the 6 of Bobby Hamilton Jr. back on the racetrack.
You know, I'm glad Bobby got back out there because the way he performed early in this race, Phil, that's one of those things that'll make you say, I know I can still do this if I get the chance. Now he's been able to make some more laps. As you see Todd Bodine getting around Kenny Schrader, that's the 7th position that just changed hands. So Bobby Jr. is able to get back out there and continue to show that he can run fast in these trucks and maybe make something happen, get him a ride.
And he doesn't do a whole lot of racing anymore, just an occasional start in the Nationwide Series last year, and then I think he ran Pocono, which was his first truck race in a long time last week.
And they threw the green flag. He went from 19th to 11th in about 7 or 8 laps, and so I know that had to get Bobby fired up and want to do some more racing. And good thing he's getting to even tonight.
Saw Kenny Schrader in the number 2. Schrader now running in the 8th spot. Bodine was able to get by him, moves up to 7th. Todd Bodine restarted back in the 15th spot, fell back a spot to 16th, but has slowly been gaining on the field, and now he's running up in the 7th position. Adam Alexander.
Rick, let's talk a little bit about the balance of youth and experience. Last week, Kyle Busch put Casey Kane in the 18 truck. This week, it's the youngster, Brian Eichler. Eichler, of course, doesn't have a great deal of experience. In fact, his only start here at Nashville coming in nationwide competition back in June, when he got involved in an early accident and didn't gain much track time. He said the truck is a little loose in the early portion of this race, but he has done a nice job moving from 11th to 6th. Ray?
And Adam, while you talk about experience, Matt Crafton, the only driver to start all 11 races for the Camping World Truck Series right here at Nashville. He says he really doesn't love this track, but he likes it. But the problem tonight is his truck was absolutely perfect in the early stages, and right now he says it feels like the left rear tire is not even on the truck. He says this thing is so loose he can barely hold on to it. So while Todd Bodine begins to move back forward, Crafton has slowly been dropping backwards.
I sure am glad he thought it was perfect early in the going, because I did too. I thought he was going to drive up there and win the darn race, and now he can't get going anywhere.
But it's a little fun if these trucks were falling off loose instead of tight, as we typically see here.
Ray Carthacane to the outside as we see Matt Crafton taking that position away. Timothy Peters is putting on a impressive performance now as he has over a 3.5-second lead over Eric Almirola, and he's going by the slower lap traffic. Timothy Peters started off the season winning in Daytona, and it looked as though he was going to be a very tough competitor for the championship, as his first 4 races were all top 10 finishes. Well, after that point, he fell a bit in the standings, but now battling back, looking for that second win of the 2010 season. Wednesday night speed is packed with an all-new adrenaline-filled original. At 8, Jason Britton films an attack flick in LA on Stealth Rider. Then at 10, Intersection pushes man and machine to the limit. Get your heart racing Wednesday night at 8 Eastern, only on Speed. Welcome back to Nashville Superspeedway. Timothy Peters now has a 3.5-second lead over Eric Almirola.
You can see he just went around Mario Goslin, the tire monkey. He's in the 15th spot. Mario's a lap down now, so Timothy's setting a blistering pace here in the early going. Phil, when they run laps in clean traffic, he's still about 2/10 better than anybody.
And there's our second place truck right there. Eric Almirola, the only driver in the field with 2 wins this season. Eric had an 8th place finish here back in April when we were here the first time.
The guy running third is the cat I was arguing with you about, Phil. Do we need a hug, or are we okay?
No, we're good.
Okay.
I think we're good.
I think Hornaday can still win this championship. He's proven he's got a strong truck tonight. He's running in the 3rd spot.
Austin Dillon driving number 3. He's running in the 4th position. The first rookie of the year to get back into victory lane in the Camping World Truck Series. He was able to win earlier this year at Iowa.
Johnny Sauter right now runs in the Timothy Peters on pit road.
Great job.
Makes his way to pit road.
He got down on pit road very aggressively. Looked like he got his truck down to speed properly, but darn, he did it fast. Adam, you ought to have seen that truck come on to pit road. He looked ready.
I'm going to tell you what, he has been ready behind the wheel tonight, Michael. He has had no complaints, maybe just a little loose. They're going to make a slight air pressure adjustment, but he said, I don't want you to do much. His first pit stop of the night coming under green at lap 60. 4 tires and fuel to Ray Dunlap.
Well, Adam, down on my end, they told Austin Dillon go 1 more lap, and he said this thing's out of fuel. It came at the perfect time as he was exiting the corner and able to come down pit road. They're going to go with 4 tires on that Bass Pro Shop Chevrolet. They're going to make an air pressure adjustment in the right rear, and Austin said he really loves the way it's rolling through the corner. A little bit tight on exit. 33 is coming down pit road too. Ron Hornaday talking about he would really like to have a track bar adjustment on his Chevrolet. We see Ken Schrader has come to pit road, and he rolls off right as Hornaday's coming to his pits. Let's check in with Adam on the 7.
And that would be the 7 of Justin Lofton, another one of our Rookie of the Year contenders. He said it was tight in the early portion of this race, but it got better as the run continued. It will be a 4-tire stop under green for him. Now let's go back up and hear about Crafton's pit stop with Ray.
Well, remember, Adam, I was telling you how Crafton said he didn't feel like that left rear was in at all. You see a wedge adjustment happening on this Menard Chevrolet. A bit of a hang-up for them to get the left rear tire hung. When you're making that wedge adjustment, that guy's very busy. He rolls away. Back to you, Adam.
And Brian Eichler got in sideways to make his green flag pit stop. Lap 62 is when he got the call. He said a little bit loose early in the run. 4 tires on the stop for him, and the 18 is away. Ray?
Half a pound air pressure in the right rear for Eric Almirola. They went down 1 round on the track bar. He rolls back off pit road. These cycle around on lap 63.
Check this out, guys. Watch how aggressive Timothy Peters gets to pit lane. You think one of these races ain't hard to win? You've got to be on your game, and watch how hard he comes to pit road. Sliding the tires all the way to the commitment cone. You have to be down to speed by the time you get to that yellow line, that pink cone, and man, he barely did it.
And he knows how much speed can be gained or lost coming in and out of the pits. Meanwhile, this cycles back on top of 9. Remember, because of that flat tire, he was able to pit under that caution lap 19, so he has probably at least another 15 laps that he could go and maybe catch a bunch of these guys a lap down.
Right now we only have 6 trucks on the lead lap. Ryan Sieg turns around. It looks like he was trying to get onto pit road.
Now you see, guys, that's what Timothy Peters almost did. Yeah. He was really close to doing what Ryan Sieg did. The caution is going to fly. Todd Bodine was just about to come to pit road. He was off turn 4 down low. He saw the caution fly, and he stayed on pit. He stayed on the racetrack. Oh, big crash.
Big crash for Mario Goslin in the number 12, that tire monkey number 12. Obviously into the wall. You see Mario taking the steering wheel off. He's already got the window net down, so he'll be climbing out of that race truck.
This is going to be a huge break for Todd. Obviously, Timothy Peters is right behind Todd, so he will be our Aaron's lucky dog. But we're going to only have about 7 trucks on the lead lap here when we resume this race.
Well, Todd was coming to pit road himself. Looks like Mario's mad at somebody. Look at him.
He's looking for somebody.
He's going to tell somebody what he thinks. We'll find out who he got involved with.
Oh. He didn't have a very good throw, but he knew
like
who he was throwing at it. Joseph Aramendia.
You see some damage on the left side of Aramendia's truck.
And Mario Goslin not happy at all. We want to take a look at this. This is going to be the back of your screen when you see it happen.
It looks like maybe Mario was passing Aramendia on the inside, and Aramendia didn't know Mario was down there, crowded him down onto the apron, and Mario lost control of his truck and hard contact into that outside wall. Good thing to see Mario was able to hop out and show his emotion, because that was a bad crash.
Adam Alexander.
And he's not only feeling it from a competitive standpoint on the track, Rick, which all these drivers will do from time to time when they suffer a heavy crash, but he's feeling it in the pocketbook as well. As we all know who follow the Camping World Truck Series week in and week out, it is a low-funded effort for Mario Goslin and that entire 12 bunch. In fact, I talked to him in the garage this morning. They had lost an engine in the opening practice. He said, this is really going to push us to the limit to go to a backup engine, and now this on track, it certainly could have a long-term effect for this race team.
Take another look at what just happened on the racetrack.
See, Mario Goslin went to the bottom of Joe Aramendia, and it got down on the apron. It looked like Michael, and when he did, he lost control of the back end, made hard contact.
He's just expressing his displeasure with the Aramendia there and trying to fling something at him. But darn, after such hard contact, that's into the concrete too, Phil. You can see there's no safer barrier on that part of the racetrack, and I'm just glad Mario was okay. What's happened here?
That's Brent Raymer right there. He's right at the entrance to pit road. I would say Brent may be out of fuel.
Like he's got it again. No, he is out of fuel, Rick. That's when it maybe picked up a little bit of gas and he could shoot forward a little bit. Brent was having a good run, was on just 1 lap off the pace in the top 20 before these problems happened.
NASCAR's bringing the field down pit road because of the damage. Watch this. Now Mario's a right-hander. He's going to pick up a brake hose that came off his little bit of a fling, a little sidearm, like a Fred Lasher used to play for the Tigers back in the 70s.
Well, he just recognized the truck he was looking for too late to really get to really time it good enough to get the hit that he was looking
accurate
for.
Throw.
Yeah, and he didn't want to wait another lap for him to come.
No, he might have calmed down by then.
Yeah.
Then he couldn't have had that emotion and throw such a hard brake duck across there.
So a tough situation for Mario Goslin and the entire 12 team as they get wrecked out on lap 66 of this 150 lap race from Nashville Superspeedway. Out in front now, it's Todd Bodine, 4 on the lead lap.
Welcome back to Nashville Superspeedway. Trucks coming to pit road. Todd Bodine, one of those, as he is in pit stall number 1. They made an adjustment on the right front shock and put 4 tires on this Germain Racing Toyota. Adam, what happened on your end of pit road?
And the 3 trucks you see coming off pit lane behind Bodine, Starr, Skinner, and Leah, also on the lead lap. Each of them had pitted at lap 19 under caution. They come here at lap 69. 4 tires, fuel, and an adjustment, and they will have some track position when we go back green.
We have an Aaron's Lucky Dog we would like to issue Timothy Peters will take advantage of that. You can see Timothy there, the dominant truck early in the race. He was just behind leader Todd Bodine when the caution flew. That made him the Aaron's lucky dog. We only have 6 guys on the lead lap right now when Timothy comes around and takes advantage of his lucky dog. But man, we're going to have a bunch of wave rounds, aren't we, guys?
Yeah, we're going to end up with probably at least 15 trucks on the lead lap when we get done with the waiver rounds, I would say.
And you know what this does, Phil? It does a couple things. Well, let's go down to Adam first on pit road and cover Timothy Peters' pit stop. Adam, here comes Timothy.
It has all worked out pretty well for Timothy Peters tonight when you consider when this caution came out. He will start deep in the field, according to Jeff Hensley, because he received the waiver round, but he's going to have fresh tires, and actually they won't put tires on here. They're going to make a track bar adjustment to help his loose condition, top off the fuel tank. They still have 2 sets of tires, and Timothy Peters looks good as he heads back to the track.
What I was going to say earlier, guys, this waiver round is a great rule by NASCAR. We're going to clean up the front of the field, Rick, what it amounts to. Back in the day, we would have trucks that are on the tail end of the lead lap restarting in front of our lead lap trucks. Those guys would be mired back 10th or 12th in the field racing for the lead. Now we're going to take all those trucks and let them come around to the tail end of the field.
We're going to give it to them.
Well, that's where they belong. Yep. They belong behind the leaders anyway. We're going to put them back there. The battle for the lead is going to be right behind the pace car.
And the 0-1 of Joe Aramendia, NASCAR has said we need to see the driver, the spotter, and crew chief after the race in the NASCAR hauler. So not only is Mario Goslin maybe a little upset, I think NASCAR might have a word with them as well. We'll be right back.
It's Camping World's Destination Recreation.
No matter where you're heading out with your RV, you're going to want to have a very comfortable chair. And when you come to Camping World, they've got at least 15 models to choose from. Great recliners like these. This one is called the Peppered Leaf. It's got great padding. And what I love is whenever you set the arms to the position you want to be in, it's locked in, won't move. Now, if you're going to go to one of your kids' ball games or maybe to a concert, you're going to want to get a chair and a bag. These things are very portable and go wherever you need to be. The copper extra wide is nice. It gives you a little bit of extra space if you need that. And another thing that I really like is this set over here, the cypress wood set. You can get the recliner or you get a chair with a table that comes right with it. Now, one of my favorites has got to be the Big Diamond. It's extra wide, nice padding right here. And whenever you're getting to your RV and you're ready to watch the Camping World Truck Series race, set this in your favorite position and relaxation is guaranteed.
The Camping World Destination Recreation Sweepstakes is back and better than ever. More prizes and more chances to win. To enter or see the complete prize descriptions and the official rules, visit campingworld.com/racing. Speaking of racing, green flag about to go back in the air, and we're back underway. Todd Bodine, David Starr, 1 and 2 at the stripe.
Well, we're back like we started. Todd Bodine started on the pole.
But everything
73 laps ago.
But everything else has changed. The whole complexion of this race has changed. We saw Timothy Peters dominating. He's mired back in
3 wide as they come out of turn number 2 and down the backstretch. Ron Hornaday was on the outside, and now continuing 3 wide back behind him. Ken Schrader shoots out of that group in the number 2.
Matt Crafton way up the racetrack, 3 wide still.
There's not room for 3 wide here, but don't tell these guys. They're sorting it out 3 wide.
Coming up on the halfway point of this race, still side by side for positions.
See Timothy Peters, he restarted in the 5th spot after getting that Aaron's lucky dog. He's worked to the inside of a couple of the trucks he's racing. You see Donnie Leah right there on his back tailgate. Look at the way he drives that thing down into turn 3, passing David Starr.
And Donnie Lee is one of those trucks on the lead lap. He is racing right now with Hornaday for position.
James Busher just in front of the 17 of Timothy Peters, but he's not on the lead lap.
There's a Toyota on board for Eric Almirola. He's going to try to drive around that Cash America Toyota of David Starr.
James Busher has been waiting for something normal to happen. He's been the Aaron's lucky dog most of the whole race, but with all the craziness on that pit stop exchange and the caution coming out when Mario Goslin hit the wall, it gave a bunch of other guys the free pass, and James is still waiting for his turn to grab it.
We'll hear from Mario Goslin. He's standing by with Adam Alexander.
No doubting Mario's frustration of what happened on track. Can you take us through the incident, Mario?
Yeah, you got an idiot in the 01 coma truck. Obviously, he's in the coma, and so's his spotter. I mean, he's 4 laps down. We'll come up on him, run me down in the grass on the front stretch, destroyed my truck for no reason, you know? That's just stupid right there. I mean, I need to learn how to drive.
A frustrating night for Mario Goslin, no doubt.
These guys are still 3 wide.
2 and 3 wide. Johnny Sauter on the inside. Outside of him, at Cash America, number 81 of David Starr. And then we got Austin Dillon on the inside of the 21 of Donnie Leah.
Had a little contact just a moment ago, 1 lap ago, coming off of this corner right here, turn 2, between the 81 of David Starr and the 21 of Donnie Leah.
We know how strong that 88 truck of Matt Crafton was on the start of the race. They got to pit road, put tires on it. Be interesting to see if they could make an adjustment that he can get that speed back. You know, anytime you have a truck as fast as his was for a short period of time, you got to think there's an adjustment in it that'll make it stay that way.
There's 3 wide again. Justin Lofton goes all the way down on the apron of the racetrack.
Guys moving up the racetrack, giving him a little bit of room. Kenny Schrader on the outside of him now in that number 2.
Yeah, this place isn't like Daytona or Talladega. There isn't any out of bounds. If you want to go down on the apron and you think you can make it work, then you're welcome to go there. Mario Goslin found out that the apron is some tough sled, and he wound up crashing his truck. Lofton, on the other hand, was able to pick up a spot or 2 by going down there.
Austin Dillon's been able to drive away from that quagmire there of trucks.
See, Schrader's back to the inside of Justin Lofton, trying to grab that spot. Not going to quite get there.
Matt Crafton trying to get by the 21 of Donnie Leah. That is a battle inside the top 10. A battle for the 9th position.
Donnie Leah on the outside in the 21. Crafton trying to take the position away. That's for the 9th position. Crafton able to pull ahead of the 21. Now Donnie Leah is going to have his hands full as he's up the racetrack. Battle for second. Skinner and Timothy Peters. Timothy Peters making quick work of Mike Skinner, takes the position away.
That wasn't much of a battle, really. That was Timothy Peters chasing him down and driving by him.
And while he was chasing him down in the wake of Skinner's air, he still ran the fastest lap of any truck on the track last time by. So this guy right here, the 17 truck, has proven from the start of this race, he's the guy you're going to have to beat.
Trying to catch up to that 30 of Todd Bodine. Our point leader coming into this race, won the pole earlier. It's his 6th career pole. Now trying to hang on to win once again from the pole. Can he do it? Well, he's going to have to hold off Timothy Peters because he is charging hard. Timothy Peters, can he get his 2nd win of 2010? Stay with us. Coverage of the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series on Speed is brought to you by AutoZone. For the auto parts, accessories, and advice you need, get in the zone. AutoZone. And by Cheerios, 100% natural whole grain oats and 1 gram of sugar. And welcome back to Nashville Superspeedway. Todd Bodine holding on to a 2.5-second lead over Timothy Peters. Mike Skinner running 3rd. Eric Almirola 4th. And Ron Hornaday in 5th.
This is one of those situations where they say, Todd, we got some good news. You're leading the race by 2.5 seconds. And some bad news. The dude in 2nd is coming. And he is. He picked up 2/10 on Todd the last time by. Timothy Peters is closing in on Todd Bodine. Look at this battle for the 4th spot. Man,
get a little loose up off the corner.
He got a little bit loose because I think Eric Almirola might have had almost had his back wheels up off the ground. He was right on the tailgate of that 33 truck, and it caused Ron to lose control a little bit, leaving the turn. You could see Ron had a bunch of space on the 51 truck of Eric Almirola in the middle of that turn, and he was still wiggling around. So Ron's truck just might be a little bit loose in general. And loose is fast here. This is a place where you really need to have a free truck in order to be able to pick up the pace. It's a big short track field. The straightaways are really long, and the corners, you drive them just like a short track. You get on the brakes hard, get to the bottom, and try to hold it there.
Austin Dillon takes over that 6th spot from Johnny Sauter. Eric. Brian Eichler, I mean, right now behind Johnny Sauter.
Like Eric. Excuse me, looks like Brian is thinking the same thing. Austin needs to get around Johnny Sauter. Johnny's holding these guys up a little bit.
Ray Dunlap, what have you got?
Well, for the 3 truck right there in the front of that frame, Rick, he's loose off the center. and they need to make another air pressure adjustment. He said the last change that Danny Stockman made was not quite enough. He wanted to have just a little bit more. That is for Austin Dillon. Now right behind him, it is a really good battle going on there between the 13 and the 18. The problem for Johnny Sauter, terrible loose. He said it's the loosest this truck has ever been since he's been driving it. And as Phil said in the top of the show, both of Johnny Sauter's wins have come in this truck, but he is not happy at all tonight with that truck. And here goes a move for the 18. We'll see how his trucks respond, and we'll check in with Adam.
And I think they feel like if they can get around Sauter, they can continue their drive to the front. He has complained very little about that race truck tonight. And we should remember, this is the same vehicle that Kyle Busch had here back in April when he led some 131 of 150 laps in winning from the pole.
Battle for fourth. Eric Almirola in front of Mike Skinner now. Got a pretty impressive top five. Todd Bodine has a championship. Timothy Peters won at Daytona earlier this year. Ron Hornaday has 4 championships. Eric Almirola 2 wins already on this season. And Mike Skinner, he's got a championship in this series as well.
And he's led the most laps here 3 times and wasn't able to get to victory lane in any one of those 3 events where he led the most laps. So Mike's been fast here, but hadn't figured out the combination of getting to victory lane.
You know, guys, we had run 13 races when we came into this race. Kevin Harvick had started 4 races this year. Kyle Busch had started 7 races this year. And between the 2 of them, as we talked about, Michael, at the top of the show, how when those guys are racing, you know they're going to be contenders. Combined, they've led over 40% of the laps this year in the first 13 races.
Pretty impressive when they are at the racetrack, but right now the most impressive is Todd Bodine. Todd Bodine out in front of Timothy Peters by 3.5 seconds. Timothy Peters still trying to reel him in that last lap. 1/10 of a second faster. Johnny Sauter a little loose there as contact was made.
Tried to stay as close to that lap truck as he could, and
maybe a little too close.
Should have given him a little bit of margin for error there.
Narain Karthikeyan in the 60 truck, now 2 laps down to the field.
He just made an unscheduled pit stop about 5 laps ago.
Ray made some contact with Johanna Long early in the race. Messed her night up. He's been able to continue. It looked like there was a lot of damage done to his truck in that accident, but something isn't right. I thought I saw something dragging on that truck a second ago. 2 laps off the pace for Narain, making laps, learning.
Yeah, he was in the lead lap when he made that unscheduled pit stop 5-6 laps ago. You see some sparks right there. Right in front of Johnny Sauter now and Matt Crafton. That's the battle for the 8th position.
Narain Karthikeyan actually won a Super League race last week.
Look how high Matt Crafton goes in the corner and gives Narain plenty of room down on the bottom of the racetrack. Here comes Kenny Schrader. He's going to join this battle between teammates. Sauter and Crafton running 8th and 9th. Schrader in 10th. He's going to try to see if he can do something with these guys.
You know, Schrader has been this season kind of that quiet competitor. You never really notice him until all of a sudden we get down to the last 30, 40 laps. And here comes Kenny Schrader, and he gets a top 10 or a top 5.
Well, I talked to Schrader about this opportunity. He loves driving Kevin's truck. And he just wants to, he said, I hadn't run a whole lot on the NASCAR circuit lately. I want to spend half the race learning what the truck wants, trying to make sure I'm around for the end of the race. So very observant, Rick, you're right. And that's my plan. That's the way Schrader goes about these races. And he's had 3 straight top 10s and 2 straight top 5s. So he's got it figured out.
Ray, what else can you tell us about that 2 team?
Well, just wanted to add, Rick, that he's driving a truck tonight that Ron Hornaday used at Iowa. Now, they didn't have good results there. Got a 24th, but it's one of their newer chassis at KHI. And Hornaday said he really liked the way the truck ran on the racetrack. And Schrader and Butch Hilton seemed to be very, very happy with the way this thing was in practice. But at night, it has just been a totally different truck for Schrader. He's not able to get through the center at all the way he wants to, but they're very happy to have Moore's Marinade on the truck tonight. And it's been interesting each and every week. New sponsors coming on board for both the 2 and the 33. So KHI doing their dirty work out there, getting lots of great sponsors. So welcome to Moore's Marinade for the Team 2. Adam?
As you would expect, Timothy Peters has been pretty quiet on the radio this evening. About 10 laps ago, he came on and said, Here she comes. Jeff Hensley said what? He said, here she comes, referring to his truck and how much better it gets as the run continues. He did say, however, about 5 laps ago, he needs to be tightened up in the center of the corner, so the next pit stop will likely result in a chassis adjustment for Timothy Peters, who rides second behind Bodine.
I'm telling you, I really expected Timothy Peters to maybe cut into that lead Todd Bodine has, but they've been matching pretty well lap for lap. And as a matter of fact, the last time Todd Bodine ran about 0.2 of a second faster than Timothy, that may be the fastest lap Todd's run in the last 10.
So Todd Bodine continuing to put trucks a lap down. We have 14 on the lead lap. Ryan Sieg running 14th. He's the last truck on the lead lap. Todd Bodine, Timothy Peters, 1 and 2. Hey race fans, Sunoco's Free Fuel 5000 is back. Just get your Sunoco decal, put it on your car or truck, get spotted and win. We've got spotters visiting every participating Sunoco, and if we see you with it while you're there filling up, you'll win one of thousands of instant prizes and a shot at the grand prize, 5,000 gallons of Sunoco fuel. For more information, go to GoSunoco.com. Todd Bodine, 5 seconds in front of Timothy Peters, but that all goes away because the caution has just come out.
Well, this will put everybody in their window. Right now we're showing 43 laps to go. We know these guys can run somewhere between 65 and 70 laps, so they're all going to come to pit road here, put some tires on, and then have maybe about a 40-lap shootout.
Todd Bodine was pulling away from these guys, but everybody needed to come to pit road one more time, so that changes the complexion of a race. We know now they can do it under caution, contemplate some adjustments, what they're going to do to their truck to try to chase down Todd. His truck in the second half of the race was mirroring what Timothy Peters looked like in the first half. These guys have switched roles.
Debris on the racetrack brings out the 4th caution of the evening with, as you mentioned, just 43 laps of racing to go. So it will be a race on to pit road to see who can get on and off pit road the quickest. Right now, just 13 trucks on the lead lap, but we believe there will be an Aaron's lucky dog.
Yeah,
it's likely to be Ryan
Sieg when we have it. These guys are coming to pit road, though.
On to pit road they come, led by Todd Bodine. Adam.
And Timothy Peters right behind him, Rick. And his crew chief, Jeff Hensley, said, okay, here we go, boys, trying to get the pit crew ready for what will be the money stop on the night. You see Peters in the 17 center of your screen. He said he needed to be tightened up in the center of the corner. They will make a slight adjustment to this race truck, 4 tires and fuel, and he will be good to go the rest of the way. To Ray Dunlap.
Adam, you see on the bottom of the screen, Ron Hornaday, when they started that last run, they had taken too much air pressure out of the tires. Took too long for it to come in, so they'll pump them up a little bit. Top of your screen, pit stall number 1, the Germain Toyota. They're going for 4 tires here. They're going to put gas in this thing. No adjustments for Todd. He'll easily be the first one off pit road, and Austin Dillon's going to gain some spots. He'll be the second one off of pit road ahead of the 17.
Great pit work for Austin Dillon. Gains 3 spots. You see Brian Eichler up to the 5th spot, gains 2 spots.
Todd Bodine. He has 42 laps. He's got to stay in front of Hornaday, Almirola, Austin Dillon, Matt Crafton, and of course Timothy Peters, who's been strong all day long in Nashville. Next Saturday, be at Darlington Raceway when the tough trucks of the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series return to the track. Too tough to tame. Purchase a specially priced Speed Open Garage ticket package and go inside the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series garage. Visit speed.com. Keyword promo to purchase your Speed Open Garage ticket package today.
There's our lucky dog right there, Ryan Sieg.
He was on the lead lap, and the leaders come around and lapped him and gave him, put him a lap down, give him the lucky dog. I'm going to tell you, James Busher has been the Aaron's lucky dog for 90% of the race as we're running, but when the caution flies, he's missed it twice.
A couple guys took the wave around to get back on the lead lap. Here comes your front 2, Todd Bodine, Austin Dillon. Bodine on the inside, green flag back in the air. Timothy Peters right behind that 30. He's going to battle for second, trying to take it away from Austin Dillon.
Let's see if these guys made some adjustments that they can get them up there to run with Todd Bodine.
Austin Dillon needs to make a strong run off the second corner. Ron Hornaday, some of those guys are going to get him shuffled out again. He does get a good run off turn 2, maybe clears Timothy Peters and dives into the second spot.
Ryan Eichler right in the mix now in that number 18. We see Timothy Peters struggling a bit as he entered turn number 3.
Oh,
now contact. A little loose for Timothy Peters. He straightens it back out. He and Austin Dillon continue to battle for second.
Yeah, Timothy got loose because he turned his truck away from Austin Dillon. Did not want to hit Austin Dillon, but got him sideways.
What about that, though? He was sideways on the straightaway, but I don't think that foot ever came off the floorboard because he was able to make the pass on Austin Dillon. Remember earlier, Austin restarted second, dropped back to 7th or 8th. He doesn't have time for that now, guys. He needs to go, and he was able to do so. Drops into the 3rd spot right behind Timothy Peters. If he can hold there, keep Eric Almirola from rooting him out, that was a good restart for the young man.
Final 37 laps of racing from Nashville Superspeedway. Todd Bodine still looking strong out in front of this field.
Ooh, we see Austin got loose. Had to chase it up the hill. That allows Eric Almirola to get to the bottom.
You can see Austin, he's going to try to hang on the outside, though, because there's not room behind Almirola down in front of Hornaday. If he tries to squeeze to the bottom, Hornaday's going to close that door. Look, 3 wide, guys.
What a
Hornaday?
run Hornaday had coming into that turn, 3 wide, and now Hornaday to the inside of the 51, battling for the 4th spot.
That was a break for Austin Dillon because when Hornaday pulled up beside, made it 3 wide, that slowed down Eric Almirola and it allowed Austin Dillon to score it ahead.
Hornaday shoots up the racetrack. Almirola takes the spot back. Here comes Brian Eichler.
Hornaday was thinking he was going to grab 2nd spot, and now he's battling to hold on to the top 5 position. He's not going to be able to do so. Looks like Eichler's going to make the pass off 2, or excuse me, off 4.
Todd Bodine with a 9/10 of a second lead over Timothy Peters. Continuing to run just a bit faster laps.
Look how high Hornaday is.
Almirola not able to take that spot yet. I'm sorry, Brian Eichler in the 18 truck. Mike Skinner, the 5 right behind Brian Eichler.
Oh, he gets sideways.
Oh! Contact. Brian Eichler is able to hang on to it. 3 wide once again as they come out of turn number 4.
And what a heads-up move by Ron Hornaday to recognize that he needed to give him some more room.
I recognized it from up here, but I didn't know Ron could from where he was setting, but he certainly did. Look at Skinner down on the bottom of the track, and here comes Matt Crafton.
Crafton making the pass on Skinner.
Squeezes into the hole in front of Justin Lofton behind Hornaday. Now he's going to dive to the outside of Hornaday.
Adam Alexander.
And there's no panic right now, Rick, in the 17 camp of Timothy Peters, but he did come on the radio and indicate that he might have a loose wheel on the right rear. Jeff Hensley, the crew chief, said everyone's loose, trying to re-emphasize that he can hang in there and get the job done. But that truck certainly not as fast right now as it was to start this race on sticker tires. We'll see if he can hang on or if there is, in fact, a problem.
So strong at the beginning of this race.
Well, he's still strong, but darn. Todd Bodine has just got his truck right where he needs it. He's really fast.
Hornaday's trying to use up the racetrack there. Brian Eichler said, no, I need a little bit of that space.
Eichler moving to the outside, trying to get by that 33 of Hornaday. Hornaday with the preferred line, able to shoot out in front of the 18.
That was a heck of a battle. Matt Crafton now drives up on the inside of Eichler, trying to grab that spot away.
Justin Lofton right behind them in the 7 truck. All these trucks battling up in the top 10 here. We are just 10th on back. Mike Skinner has 10th on, and Lee is going to take over the 11th spot from Kenny Schrader.
Schrader drops back to 12.
Schrader was up beside Skinner trying to grab 10th, and now he's falling back to 12th. That's how tough. This track's a momentum track. You get down, squeeze down on the bottom of somebody, and you can't complete the pass. You're going to lose all your momentum, and they'll catch you from behind.
Battle for 7. Eichler, Crafton, and Lofton.
I'm telling you, it seems like the trucks in clean air can really make some ground up. Todd Bodine, we saw Timothy Peters dominate the early portion of this race. Since Todd Bodine's been back out front in that clean air, his truck has been the fastest truck.
This is a championship statement tonight. I know, Bill, don't look at me like that. But he is saying tonight, I can win this championship. I got the speed to do it. I have the experience to do it. And now I've had some bumps in the road. I have the brains to do it. And he's putting it all together tonight.
So you're ruling Hornaday out now?
Well, there's a lot of things have changed since the race.
2 hours ago.
That's exactly.
But this race isn't over either now. We cannot give this win to Todd Bodine yet. We have 29 laps to go.
Or the championship.
I'm not hard-headed. I just need to be shown, maybe.
11 races following this one. This championship by no means has been decided. Side by side now. Eichler on the outside, Crafton on the inside.
I'm telling you, Matt Crafton has been battling somebody this entire race. So most of the time it was his teammate.
Yeah, he and the 13 of Johnny Sauter had been side by side for numerous laps today.
How about now is up in the 5th position. He's a couple 3 trucks ahead of his teammate Matt Crafton.
How about another solid run for Justin Lofton, running the top 10, just he's shown for the last 3 or 4 months that he's got the speed to run in the top 10, even in the top 5, but just a lot of problems, and tonight again right up there in the middle of the top 10.
Finally last week at Pocono he was able to get the finish he deserved. He had a top 5 there and finished 5th.
It's been since Dover that he had gotten the finish that he deserved. I think he was 3rd at Dover for his career best finish.
Austin Dillon looks to be faster through the corners than Timothy Peters, but then Timothy's able to pull away. This is the 2nd spot. Timothy Peters holding on to it, but Austin Dillon has been able to stay right on the back bumper of that 17.
Todd Bodine continues to run the fastest laps each and every lap. He's creeping away from these guys. He has a little bit over a 3-second lead right now.
Eric Almirola back there in the 4th position. Johnny Sauter back in 5th. Hornaday, Eichler, Crafton, Lofton, and Skinner your top 10. Still on the lead lap, Donnie Leah, Ken Schrader, David Starr, Ryan Sieg, and Ricky Carmichael. That makes 15 trucks on the lead lap. Todd Bodine looking to make it 2 wins in the 2010 season and try to pad that lead he has in the championship standings. This Thursday, check out what's under the hood on speed. At 8, it's a historic event on Pink's All Out from Chicago. The fastest cars ever compete in the Group 16. Then at 10, Tanner Faust's Aston Martin challenges Paul Tracy's Bentley Supersport. Thursday, 8 Eastern, only on Speed, presented by Michelin. Todd Bodine with a 4.4-second lead over Timothy Peters here at Nashville Superspeedway. Austin Dillon running in the 3rd spot. Those two have been pretty close on the racetrack, battling for that 2nd position, but that's the distance from 1 to 2.
You know, Todd Bodine was leading this race before, got passed on the last lap when he and Mike Skinner got together. Johnny Benson was able to pass him a few years ago, so Todd knows this thing is not over till he sees that checkered flag.
When Todd gets out front, he seems to check out. Nobody's able to keep up with him. We saw that out of the 17 of Timothy Peters. When he was able to get out front, he was able to check out. Now, Timothy Peters seems to be struggling back there in 2nd.
You know, it seems like every other truck on the lead lap or in the top 10 right now are running within about a 1/10 of a second or a 1/10 and a half. But Todd Bodine 2 laps ago was a 1/10 and a half faster than all the rest of those trucks.
It's great, though, to look at the parity, Phil. Todd Bodine last time by ran a 31.50. Like you said, a couple laps ago, he's a couple tenths better than everybody. But all the way back to the 6th spot, Ron Hornaday ran a 31.60. They were within the top 6 trucks were within 1/10 of a second of each other.
You know, Todd Bodine has had some amazing wins in his career, but they've all been on racetracks that have been bigger than a mile. He's never won on anything a mile or less. His dominant performance has been at Texas, where he's won 6 times, and he won there earlier this year. At Texas, you get cowboy boots or a cowboy hat. How about Nashville, where you get a guitar? Michael, you know what that's like.
Well, I didn't really have time to think much about my guitar. I was running 6 with 2 to go, and they all crashed. And my guitar was just sort of handed to me. Todd running these laps down here with 17 to go now. You know, there's a chance. Oh, got beside Timothy Peters, but then the slow truck was there. But can Austin Dillon stay in there? Looks like so.
Austin Dillon trying to take 2nd away from Timothy. Oh, he's sideways. Austin Dillon's going to take advantage of it.
Timothy drove right up under the tailgate, got Timothy really sideways. Austin's going to take that 2nd spot.
And Austin's saying, let me get down in this corner really strong so he doesn't have a chance to get on my tailgate. I need to get this clean air on the nose of my truck. Maybe I got something for Todd Bodine now that I'm in fresh air. And I think he might. He might have something to go run Todd down with.
Take a look at this now. Watch. Timothy Peters dives down to the bottom of the racetrack. He gets a little bit loose there. Then he has to save it again. Austin Dillon just drives by on the inside.
And Austin Dillon has been all over the back bumper of that 17, so maybe Austin Dillon can put some distance between he and Timothy Peters and close in on Todd Bodine.
Watch from Timothy's onboard here. This is what it's going to feel like to get loose. There they go by the start-finish line. Timothy's going to drive it hard down in the corner.
You hear the tire squeal? Anytime you hear the tire squeal and you can save it, you just count your blessings. You know that was close.
And that's at about 140 miles an hour probably.
Trying to change directions at the same time.
So Timothy Peters drops back to the 3rd spot. Todd Bodine out in front of Austin Dillon now.
That last lap, Austin Dillon 0.3 of a second faster than Todd Bodine. Good battle right there.
For the 7th position, Matt Crafton on the inside, Brian Eichler on the outside.
Matt's going to be able to clear him up off of 4. Brian's going to fight back to the inside. Justin Laughlin right there in fighting distance, and here goes Eichler back to the inside.
Brian Eichler with the preferred line down at the bottom of the racetrack. Way up the track is the 88 of Matt Crafton.
You can go up there, Rick, and not crash, but darn, you just lose so much time. There's not a lot of grip. You got to slow down, and it's further around up there, and no one has been able to make any time running high on the racetrack. Look at Lofton down to the bottom of Matt Crafton. Look at the move he makes. Strong move by Justin Lofton.
Boy, jumped in that throttle through the center of the corner. Just about cleared him.
It looks like the 88 is struggling, and he keeps moving up the racetrack. Ray, what are they talking about?
I'll tell you, it's been an interesting night for Matt Crafton here. I'll tell you for sure, guys. Remember last fall, he finished 5th here, and he really had a lot of confidence. The truck was so good early, but Matt said he thinks something must have broken in the suspension of this truck because it's completely on top of the racetrack. He said there's absolutely no grip. He can't turn it down to the bottom of the racetrack. He said earlier he couldn't have possibly been happier with this truck, but he believes maybe something is broken because it won't respond to anything they've done on pit stops, and it's completely on top of the racetrack.
Yeah, you were talking, Michael, how good that 88 truck looked early on, and then it almost just like you turned the page, and the truck hasn't been near that good.
Closing in on the final 10 laps of racing from Nashville Superspeedway. Todd Bodine with a 5-second lead over Austin Dillon.
This time by Todd Bodine 31:40, Austin Dillon 31:70. So I don't know how Austin ran that lap one time around 3/10 of a second faster than Todd, because Todd has been 3/10 faster than everyone else the last 5 or 6 laps.
Great battle right there. Eric Almirola drives to the inside of Timothy Peters. That's a battle for the 3rd spot. Jennifer Jo Cobb right there. Can they get by her?
Almirola clears the 17 of Timothy Peters, so Almirola moves up to the 3rd spot now. Bodine, Dillon, and Almirola 1, 2, and 3 here at Nashville.
What a great job by Jennifer Jo, giving those guys room to race as they entered down into turn 3. That was tight.
Remember, this is 2nd and 3rd in points right now. Eric Almirola 2nd coming into this race. Timothy Peters right now was 4th coming in, but he's being shown in the 3rd position.
The problem is the guy they're chasing out in front of this field, well, is our point leader coming into this race. Todd Bodine putting on a dominant performance.
I mean, far be it for me to tell you I told you so, but it seems like at the beginning of the show we talked about how Ron Hornaday was out of it. I mentioned that, and Michael said he wasn't, and I said that Todd Bodine has won this championship before. He's comfortable out front here, and he's looking at today.
So did you call Todd Bodine the winner before this race started? I don't remember you saying that.
No, I did not call him the winner of the race.
Still a lot of racing to go.
Championship favorite, I think is what I called it.
That's what I remember hearing.
A lot of racing to go here tonight, and a lot left in this 2010 season. We still got 11 races after tonight. We've seen a lot of moves in the points late in the season.
Yeah, a lot of things happen. Todd Bodine really hasn't had that big problem that a lot of the other drivers have had already this season.
But this is a statement tonight, man.
Yeah.
This is how you go out and grab a championship. You just stomp everybody's tail ends into the ground, you know, like he's done here at Nashville tonight, and that gets everyone's attention. Eric Almirola currently running in the 3rd spot, 2nd in points, thinking I got a shot at this championship, but not the way Todd's running tonight.
And Todd Bodine has led 84 of the 144 laps that have been complete. The leader of the most laps has only won 4 times here at Nashville, most recently in April when Kyle Busch led 131 laps of that 150 lap race.
Right now, Todd Bodine's thinking, please no caution flags. Just outside of 5 laps to go. If we can get this thing to the end, I've got over a 5-second lead right now on 2nd. I can just about coast home.
Don't want to bring anyone else into this mix right now as I have that big lead, as you mentioned, 5 seconds over Austin Dillon. Almirola running back there in 3rd, Timothy Peters in 4th, and Johnny Sauter in 5th. Does anybody surprise you in the top 10? Eichler, Lofton, Crafton, Skinner.
No surprises, but there's some runs there I really like seeing. You know, the fact that Justin Lofton's being able to have another good run. Brian Eichler getting the finish and running the way that he is tonight. Those are all good stories to cover. Skinner, you know, he hasn't run great tonight, but he's used some pit strategy to keep that truck up in the top 10 as well. So these are good stories and good runs for these guys. Look at this battle here.
There's Lofton in the 7, just behind him the 88 of Matt Crafton. Brian Eichler on the outside of the 18.
Yeah, Lofton's going for that 7th spot on Eichler right now with 4 laps to go.
Looks like he's got the preferred line down in the corner, but look at Eichler drive hard into the corner.
Oh, trouble! Almost sideways and still hanging on to it is Brian Eichler in the 18. The 7 of Justin Lofton got a little bit loose as well.
Matt Crafton said, thank you very much, boys. I'll take those 2 spots.
That was a knife save by Brian Eichler and Justin Lofton.
3 laps of racing remain from Nashville Superspeedway. Todd Bodine with a 4.8-second lead over Austin Dillon. Almirola running back in 3rd, and these two haven't settled their differences. Justin Lofton to the inside, Eichler to the outside.
Remember what happened last time when they were down this end of the racetrack?
It looked like they didn't remember what happened. That was a replay of the lap before.
And they stay close. Justin Lofton almost into the side of that 18 as they go quickly by the 46 of Clay Greenfield.
Looks like Lofton's going to get it cut and grab the advantage off turn 4. Can he close the door? Almost, not quite.
2 laps remain. Todd Bodine.
I'm glad Todd Bodine can't see this. He's saying, come on, guys, just keep it going straight for 1 more lap. I need that white flag. And he's coming off turn 4, and that's what's waving right now.
White flag in the air. Todd Bodine, 1 more time around Nashville Superspeedway.
Todd knows there's not going to be a green-white checker. It looked like the 0-1 cost the momentum to Justin Lofton.
Justin wants that spot bad.
Todd Bodine has won at some impressive racetracks. But when you talk about trophies, Nashville Superspeedway winning at this racetrack has one of the most impressive. A Sam Bass decorated Gibson guitar goes to the winner, and that tonight will be Todd Bodine winning at Nashville Superspeedway.
Never give up. Great job, boys. Love y'all. Proud just to be part of this team. Man, that's it. Never give up. Keep digging. We'll just keep doing this. Get us a little guitar.
You heard Todd Bodine say guitar lessons.
Austin Dillon with another great run. That's 7 top 10 finishes in a row for him. Eric Almirola with a 3rd place finish, trying to stay in contact with our point leader, Todd Bodine.
Let's go down to the winning crew chief. He's with Ray Dunlap.
Mike, I'm just wondering if that one that got away in 2006 makes this one even more special.
You know, you can't never get them back when they get away, Ray. I'm so proud of all these guys. We've been working so hard to get everything ready to go every week. All the guys in the fab shop, all the guys that stay home, John Dysinger and all his guys working on the motors. We got one. We got us a guitar now. Sorry, Bobby G, you don't get to play it. And the bad thing is these poor boys got to work tomorrow morning to get ready to go to Darlington, so I guess tomorrow night we'll have to celebrate a little bit.
I would assume that you've got Darlington marked on your calendar as one of those races where you just got to get in there and get out of there, or do you go after it and try to get another win?
I think you've seen at Pocono and at Iowa that we're going to get a win every week. We're not going to points race. We're just going to keep doing our deal. This is how you get the most points, lead most laps, and win.
Mike Hillman Jr. gets win number 19 as a crew chief in the Camping World Trucks.
19 wins, 4th all time for Todd Bodine, behind Hornaday, Skinner, and Spray, making quite a name for himself in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series.
You know, guys, at the top of the show, we talked about the 3 trucks that have been fast since the time they unloaded them. Todd Bodine, Austin Dillon, Timothy Peters. Well, they finished 1st, 2nd, and 4th, so they were pretty close to dominating this day.
Almirola throws his name into that top 4, actually finishing in the 3rd position. And Johnny Sauter coming home in the 5th spot.
Hornaday back in 6th, Crafton 7th. Those guys all were competitive, but darn, no one ever showed the speed like Timothy Peters showed early and Todd Bodine showed late.
Todd Bodine gets his first win at Nashville Superspeedway. Joining Ron Hornaday now for the wins at this racetrack.
Certainly congratulations to Bob Germain, all the Germains. They've been all in this truck series in NASCAR, and it's good to see that Germain.com truck pulling into victory lane.
Justin Lofton and the 18 of Brian Eichler. Maybe some differences. This is after the checkered flag flew. You see Lofton letting Eichler know not too happy about the way we were racing on the track.
We watched those guys battle, and they were both of them sideways down to 1 and 2 about 5 or 6 laps ago.
We must have missed part of the story because it didn't look like Justin had anything he should be mad at, because he's the one that ran into the side of Eichler.
Lofton's on the inside. This was about 4 laps to go. Lofton slides up the racetrack, catches the 18.
Yeah, that's down in 1 and 2. That's what we were watching and saw him as Matt Crafton was able to drive by.
Final lap. Lofton trying to squeeze by that 0-1 of Joe Aramendia, but Joe was up the racetrack, so Lofton has to check up.
I think he's upset that Brian Eichler tried to use that 0-1 for a pick and tried to block him by using that 0-1 truck, and I think that's what Justin's mad about.
Well, aren't you supposed to do
I was going to
you
say, I think that's part of racing, isn't it?
I'm just saying that's why he's mad.
That's why he's upset. And, well, they were upset.
Uh-oh.
Adam Alexander.
And Brian Eichler, one of the more calm personalities you will see in the garage area, especially for a young guy. Obviously, you and Justin Lofton had some differences of opinion there in the closing laps. Take us through what happened on track and the situation after the checkers.
I don't really know. We weren't like we were racing for the win there. We're racing for about 10th, I think. So just uncalled for. These things already having a difficult night, struggling a little bit. No need to tear these trucks up. But got to thank Kyle Busch Motorsports for the opportunity and Toyota, everything they do. Not the night we wanted, but we'll come out of it for a decent day for points.
Did you and Justin talk after the race here?
No. I talked to his crew chief, but I don't know where he went.
All right, thank you.
Todd Bodine starts climbing out here in victory lane. The youngin is back. He came into this race tonight tied with Kyle Busch with 18 wins. He moves ahead, and now he's ready to play guitar. Sam Bass comes in here with a signature trophy, and Todd, I know it's been a long time. You've been wanting one of these pretty bad.
I tell you, I've been so close so many times. Even though the fairgrounds, I was close. We were close with this truck before. Germain Tundra, Germain team is awesome, man. These guys are the ones that do this every week. I got to thank JD, all the guys in the motor shop, awesome motor again. Thank all the fans, all of them sitting in the grandstands, watching on TV. We appreciate it, and it's about time I got this. Woo! Look at that.
That's an awesome trophy, no question about it. And a statement that you made on the radio that that this team is there and you're in championship form again.
We are. We struggled a little bit in the beginning of the season, trying some different stuff, and we were fortunate to get top 5 runs out of it. And Junior and Tommy Ackerman went to work, figured out what we were doing wrong, and we've been fast ever since. I made a couple of mistakes. Iowa was my mistake, and we should have been top 2 there. I mean, this truck's fast every week, and that's how you win championships, and then you stay out of trouble and get to the front, and so far we've been doing it.
You gonna wipe this one off and take it to Darlington?
Probably. I don't know. I don't know what Junior's got in mind. He's got something up his sleeve.
Well, he always does. Here, get that guitar up here. We want to see if do you need lessons or do you know how to play?
I don't know how to play, but I got a really good friend, Bo Bice, is a really good guitar player. But my boss, Bob Germain, begged me for this guitar. Bob Hillman Sr. says it's going in a trophy case, so you're going to have to fight him for it.
All right, Bo Bice would normally be here. He was at Watkins Glen to sing the national anthem. He won't be here to celebrate, but Todd will with all his guys. Win number 2 of 2010.
And it's back-to-back top 10s for the rookie Justin Lofton. The good news, obviously some disappointment for you late in the race. You and Brian Eichler got together. Take us through that.
Yeah, it was just, it was really just good, hard racing. I don't know if it was necessarily clean. He kind of pinched me down when the 01 didn't move down as far as he should have, and he just kind of kept pinching me. He's just trying to block, but I watched his interview inside, and he says, we're racing for 9th, 10th place or whatever, but I'm racing for points, and we're really trying to rebound from a rough start. So I just got to thank Mastercraft Safety, Toyota Tundra, Tom DeLoach, Red Horse Racing, and everyone that puts all their time and effort into this program, and you know, I'm just trying to go out there and give them the best results I can, and yeah, I'm going to show I'm not happy after that. So,
how big is it for you guys to finish 2 in a row after so many that kind of got away late?
Oh, it's you know, it's huge. I mean, even though the last 2 laps I was kind of frustrated, you know, I'm just kind of jumping inside, and can't wait to go to Darlington next week. I think we're going to be really strong there, and just looking forward to the rest of the season, and you know, a lot more hard racing, and hopefully I can be up there with Todd Bodine with a trophy sometime. And just congratulations to all Todd Bodine and all the 30 crew. We were talking before the race, and it's cool to see him win.
See you in Darlington.
See you.
You know, I'll throw another name out there that has an association with the Germain family that maybe got a little bit of guitar history. I believe they're friends with Eric Clapton. He might know how to play that guitar, maybe a little bit as well. Todd Bodine in victory lane with the Gibson guitar. To the victor goes the spoils, and that's exactly what Todd Bodine is enjoying right now. The Gibson guitar, designed by Sam Bass, in his hands as they continue with the hat dance in victory lane. Let's take a look at our Dodge save of the race here in Nashville.
This is just a heads-up move by Todd Bodine. He's getting ready to come to pit road. Started on the pole, but you know what happened was early in the going he had a flat tire on his truck. He was about to come to pit road, the darn caution flies. That's save number 1. The next one, he was about to come to pit road when there was a big crash on the track, and the move he made there, watch this, Phil.
There's Mario Goslin. Todd Bodine was on his way to pit road when this happened. Here he is right here. This is just as Mario Goslin is crashing. His spotter heads up and says, okay, let's go back to the racetrack. And look at that white truck, by the way. Oh, that's Timothy Peters, who had already made a green flag pit stop, and that kept him a lap down. He got the Aaron's lucky dog, put him back on the lead lap. But after this point, Todd Bodine pretty much led the rest of the way.
It took away Timothy Peters' track position, and so we never know what Timothy Peters was going to have after that.
That was our Dodge save of the race, enabling Todd Bodine to get out front and stay out front and get to victory lane once again. Let's go back trackside to Ray Dunlap.
Well, Rick, coming into this race, Austin Dillon had outscored all the other drivers in the last 6 races by 55 points, and tonight a 2nd place. What did you learn out there that maybe could have made it 1 position better?
Just got to be able to go on the restarts. We were too free. Me and Timothy both couldn't keep up with Todd on the first initial few laps there, but I tell you what, my pit crew did an awesome job. So pleased with those guys. They got us back in contention into a place where we can go for the win. And I just learned a lot tonight. I mean, when we came here the first time, we were 14th, and to go to 2nd, this is like a win for us coming back. And very happy for Bass Pro Shops and Tracker Boats.
You know, Austin, when we're looking at all these top 5s and top 10s you guys have been knocking off, I have to imagine that each and every one of these tracks we go to is quite a learning experience. But next week, Darlington, have you got your mind wrapped around that yet?
Yeah, that's going to be a real learning experience. You know, everybody's been telling me you don't race everybody else, you race the track, and that's where I'm going to go into it. Just trying to race the track the whole night, and hopefully we'll come out with another top 10, keep our little streak going.
All right, we wish you good luck. We go to Darlington and then Bristol. Should be an interesting learning curve for the driver of number 3. Adam?
Eric Almirola finished in the 3rd position tonight, and when you and I visited before the race, you said this has been a real troubling point for this race team, and you answered the bell here tonight.
Yeah, we sure did. I couldn't be prouder of Richie Waters and all the guys on this Graceway Pharmaceuticals Toyota Tundra. They did a really, really, really good job this weekend. We have never, ever been good here. I think the best we've ever finished here was 8th in the spring. So to come out of here with a 3rd, I know we lost points to Todd, but if we would have run how we normally run, we would have lost a lot more. So really proud of all the guys on this team. They just keep working hard every week. And, you know, if Todd keeps doing that, you know, there's nothing we can do. But we're doing all we can do. We're running the best we can run. And tonight we had a 2nd, 3rd, 4th place truck at times, and we finished 3rd. So that's what we need to do. We just wish Todd would finish worse a little.
Is there a place where you feel like you have an opportunity to capitalize when you look at the schedule?
I do. I feel like we'll run really good next week at Darlington. We did the Goodyear tire test there, and we had a really good truck. We were really fast. I was really happy with how our truck ran there. We've notoriously run really good at Bristol. So I'm really looking forward to the next few races we have coming up here. I really feel like we got a good few tracks coming up here to where we can really shine and maybe gain some points back on Todd.
A solid 3rd place finish for Eric Almirola here tonight.
Thanks, Adam. In the background, you could hear Sonny Sweeney giving a concert to the patrons here at the Nashville Superspeedway just after the checkered flag flew. So Todd Bodine, oh, he's got a guitar of his own. Doesn't know how to play it, but he's got a guitar.
Next week, after a 6-year hiatus, the Camping World Truck Series returns to the track too tough to tame, the Darlington Raceway. With championship battles heating up, this historic track will look to make some history on the point standings. Chris Devoto hosts the setup starting at 7 p.m. Eastern, followed by flag-to-flag coverage, only on Speed.
Lady in Black has been a very good racetrack for the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. We've seen a couple guys win it. Bobby Hamilton, the late Bobby Hamilton, won there twice.
Casey Kane won our last race there 6 years ago. You know, Eric Almirola talked about hopefully gaining some points on Todd there, but Todd's very, very good at that racetrack as well at Darlington.
Yeah, I picked up a victory in the Nationwide Series back there in the early 90s. You win at Darlington, you win at Bristol, Daytona. Those are the trophies that you really like. The Gibson guitar you get here in Nashville, those are the trophies you really like. Getting a victory at Darlington next Saturday night will be big for whoever pulls into victory lane.
And it'll be fun to see kids like Austin Dillon, who is a rookie in this series, go to a racetrack like Darlington, probably get his Darlington stripe. Take a look at our unofficial point standings. 174, the difference now between Todd Bodine and Eric Almirola.
There's a pretty good chance that everyone on that list will get their Darlington stripe next week, Rick.
Stay with us. The NASCAR Camping World Truck Series is presented on Speed by Toyota. Brought to you in part by Camping World. The Camping World Sweepstakes is back and better than ever. Camping World is offering more prizes and more chances to win. Visit campingworld.com and enter today. And by the AARP Auto and Home Insurance Program from the Hartford. Sonny Sweeney still entertaining the fans here at Nashville Superspeedway. Just off of turn number 1.
She's entertaining me, too. She sounds good over there off turn 1.
Take a look at our unofficial results brought to you by the Expendables. That was in theaters August 13th.
Great win by Todd Bodine, second of the season. Austin Dillon with a nice runner-up finish here. First time here in a truck. Eric Almirola, good top 3 finish.
How about Timothy Peters? He finished 4th the last 3 races here. He's got to be getting a little bit tired of that.
Schrader with a top 10 finish again. That's 4 in a row in Kevin Harvick's truck when Schrader's been behind the wheel. Skinner 11th. Donnie Lee, a solid run for he and that team.
And Ryan Sieg with a 13th place finish. Good run for him.
Brett Butler went to the garage area with some problems on that fuel doctor truck. And Mario Goslin, the hardest contact of the weekend for sure.
Johanna Long didn't even hardly get started till she got taken out by Narain Karthikeyan. Tough break for her.
And we go back trackside to Ray Dunlap.
Is it correct when I'm looking at my stats that you finished 4th here in each of the last 3 races?
Yeah, it's I was kind of wanting to get out of that category and better myself 3 positions, but you know, this Swiss Metal Cutting Tools Toyota Tundra was good all night long. We just got a little too loose and it never got better. It just really got worse. So Jeff Hensley and all the guys on this Red Horse Racing pit crew do a great job every week, and you know, we're trying to turn our top 10s into top 5s, and we're just that little bit, and hopefully we can get up there in victory lane. But you know, thank all the guys back at the shop, suspension room, fab shop, all the guys that help us when we're gone. Arrington Engines, just it's just awesome, this opportunity Tom DeLoach has given me.
I'll tell you, Timothy, I was very surprised how many people were saying they were loose tonight. I thought this track would be really tight. Did everybody just make wrong adjustments, or was the track different than we expected?
I don't know. You know, something was just, I believe was going on with the tire. Same number, but it just did not react the same way it did in the spring here. So I could be wrong, but that's just what it felt like. Our stuff just really, once we got going, we got off those first sets of tires, and our stuff just really never could tighten back up. It just felt like it was on the right rear all night long. So, you know, I was holding on for everything and finished 4th again.
All right. I think it's possible to say that these guys may be a little disappointed with a top 5 tonight.
Another solid effort for Johnny Sauter inside the top 5 here tonight at Nashville. Take us through your night.
You know, we struggled a little bit all day with our Roll to Gold CMT curb record Chevy, and you know, we just kept flogging on it, working on it, and we finally got it good there at the end of the second practice, and I thought we had something decent. And we started out the night, and we just struggled to get that balance right. I mean, I was free in, tight center, loose center. We made adjustments on that first pit stop, and just kind of got away from us. We got too free everywhere, so we went back to what we started with, and it was still just a little bit tight, but fast enough to be able to make a little bit of headway. So all in all, good night for us. We just, I don't know, we're missing something. Todd obviously had the dominant truck, but anytime you can come out of Nashville with a top 5 finish, that's a good day.
How frustrating is it to run as good as you guys have been running of late and see Bodine doing what he's doing and gain no ground?
No, I mean, that's the tough part about this. I mean, you know, we went to Iowa, Gateway, and ORP, and we actually gained 30, 40 points on him, but these last couple weeks he stretched it out back. So, you know, it's his championship right now. I mean, the way it looks, we got a long way to go, but if they keep doing what they're doing, it's going to be really tough to beat him. But just super proud of everybody at Thor Sport, Chevrolet, proud to have a bow tie on this thing.
Thanks, Johnny.
Thank you.
Johnny Sauter 233 points back from Todd Bodine now with 11 races remaining in the 2010 season. Todd Bodine still receiving congratulations from drivers and fans alike. Austin Dillon saying, nice job. Again, welcome back to Nashville Superspeedway. This one just in the books now. The next stop for the Camping World Truck Series, Darlington Raceway. And again, it's been 6 years since we've been to that racetrack.
You know how wide this racetrack is? Probably 60 or 70 feet. We see trucks 3 and 4 wide. Well, that racetrack's about 6 feet wide.
There is definitely no margin for error at Darlington, and that's why you see the trucks all skin up when it's over.
So we might see maybe some tempers flaring when we go to Darlington, maybe a little bit like what we saw tonight.
Well, more than likely there will be.
Yeah, you're going to expect some of this. These two here couldn't get it figured out. Check out this move. Brian Eichler just squeezed Justin Lofton in behind Joe Aramendia. Justin Lofton didn't think that was fair, and I don't know what Brian Eichler was showing him. Maybe directions.
Yeah, follow me. I think it's what
follow me to pit road.
If you follow me, I can get you to pit road. Well, Justin Lofton didn't appreciate that.
Justin Lofton said he didn't like Brian Eichler trying to put a pick on him behind a slow truck. I wonder if Brian Eichler liked Justin Lofton driving down in the corner and running in the side of him, knocking him sideways at 130 or 40 miles an hour. I mean, darn.
And we'll have a lot of that at Darlington because there's going to be less room. There wouldn't be room for that lap truck of the 0-1 when we get to Darlington.
Is Darlington a racetrack where Todd Bodine could lose some of this big lead he's got over the field?
Well, he's one of the most experienced drivers, and that's one place where experience can really pay off. I like Eric Amarola, though. He's fast, he's young. He's going to have fun at Darlington. You watch.
Ron Hornaday's going to be good at Darlington, too. It's going to be a great show. There's going to be a great race, and, you know, that racetrack has been repaved since the trucks have been there. It's going to be fast.
Austin Dillon's eyeballs are going to be wide open from what he's going to see for the first time.
Fastest tonight was the 30 of Todd Bodine, his second win of the 2010 season.
Next week, after a 6-year hiatus, the Camping World Truck Series returns to the track too tough to tame, the Darlington Raceway. With championship battles heating up, this historic track will look to make some history on the point standings. Chris Devoto hosts the setup starting at 7 p.m. Eastern, followed by flag-to-flag coverage, only on Speed.